What am I looking at here, guys? No! It's not possible! The worms have prepared! We actually see tack. The tack build is back. Scythe Guard, Bunker DH. Kill, Bunker DH. I have no idea what this is out of... What is this technology? Okay then. Here we are. It's monthly AT. We actually have quite a lot of strong teams here, I believe. Of course, we have Team Snowfall, So Goated, I Wanna Abuse in the mix there. We have the Master of Disaster, rank 55. We have Team Bill in the mix there as well. And yeah, we're just going to go over all the teams. We will see who is playing. Of course, first round, perhaps not the most exciting games in the entire universe, but we'll see. If Zintrix wins, he will gamba 40k gold. And yeah, here we have the Worms. This is Team Scythe. Team Scythe, also known as Scythe 1v9, of course. This is going to be French Worms. This is, if I'm not mistaken, full Worms. We've seen a couple of hybrid Worms on the last couple of ATs, but this, I think, is full French, in fact. We have Scythe, going to be playing the Amalgam. Unsurprisingly, Glint on the Rev, Goku on the support warrior here. Kill, haven't seen Kill around for a while, actually. Back with the Worms on the Necro. And then White Sparrow's Tengu on the Luminary. I'm not sure who... I think I know who Tengu is, but I'm not totally sure, actually. It might be a non-Worm player, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what's going on here as well. We have a couple of teams in the mix. Let's see what the 55 roster is. Never mind. No, we won't. No, see, how about this one here? Never mind. The games are not starting. We will not be able to inspect the roster just yet. A lot of these games, they're going to be 500-0. Like, this is not going to be... it's going to be a little bit rough for red guys. I'll be entirely honest with you. It's not going to go well. Let's see. Are any of these games actually active? This is not one that we particularly want to spectate. Let's see what we got here. So, this is Team Snowfall. This is Nigel, Alex, and then it is going to be Shuriken here with Cranel and Shaman. This is Team Snowfall, So Goated, I Want to Abuse. Won't be... I don't think this is going to be the final roster here, really. Or rather, the final lineup of classes that will get played. Until we see a little bit later. I think DH... Not too sure about that one. It'll be very interesting, by the way, to see what Cranel plays, because for the last couple of tournaments, we have seen Cranel actually be the support. That's not going to be the case this time around, as we do have Shuriken here on the Paragon. So that is going to free up Cranel to play his normal role, which will be some kind of DPS. I imagine it is just going to be a Guardian. He is a bit of a Guardian main, big Guardian enjoyer. I would imagine it will be what we see here, the Luminary. Seems to be somewhat likely. Be interesting to see how that one works out. Like, Luminary, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but I haven't really been wowed by Luminary, really, in a lot of these games. And I'll be interested to see if they end up playing a Conduit too. I feel like Condi Conduit in particular, or some kind of hybrid build, is just so potent that not having it feels a little bit weird in some of these team fights. But anyway, that's that team for a bit of a summary there from Team Snowfall. We, of course, also have 55 here. And this will be, I think, another bit of a different approach here once again, because there's almost certainly going to be the Thief. Actually, no, there isn't going to be the Thief, actually, because it is not going to be a Syndrana AT. It is going to be Misha, the Master of Disaster, Boysicle, okay, here on the Ranger. Could be any Ranger build, right? Like, you know, it could be the Gale Shot. It's the Untamed right now for the content. Caspi on Mirage. Dra. DXXXXXX. Okay, incredible name there as well from Dra. And Crocodile Emoji. Now, we have actually seen the power. We have seen the power of Crocodile Emoji in a lot of these monthlies. So let's see if this will be another victory here coming up from Oki. And yeah, it's not Taco Cat. I don't know why. For some reason, guys, Caspi is just never playing on Taco Cat anymore. Caspi despises the Taco Cat brand. Doesn't go that way anymore. Little bit unlucky if you ask me. Taco Cat is a pretty good name, but it is not in use currently, at least for now. But yeah, very strong roster here, obviously from 55. We'll have to see how they fare against Snowfall and the Worms. It's another very, very powerful roster. Indeed. that's kind of coming through there. Like I said, this game is not going to be super exciting, though. I'll be honest, guys. Let's go check some other stuff out here. Let's see. We have upside down. We have the Maya team here. This was this was referred to as Team Maya, and yeah, we do indeed have that being locked in here. Maya Boo on the glorious Virtuoso over here. With Antares, Upside Down, Fallen Angel, Echoes of Silence, The Birds Part 1. What is this character name? Some kind of obscure reference that I am incapable of understanding. Of course, we have... what is this? Pimbadoo on the Amalgam. I love Amalgam, guys. On the red team, we have the Push team. We have Lone Cap, the Legend. You know, I think, I'm pretty sure that this build is actually kind of good in Push. However, I'm not entirely convinced by it in Conquest. I will admit that. It is, I think Berserker, it is a ranked special in competitive play. Not sure how effective that's really going to be. We do have the support coming through from Fly, in fact, here on the red team. Wow, that's interesting to see that. Nemesis in the mix and Black Swan on a Virtuoso. Really weird team comp here, to be honest. We do have this Amalgam here, which is pretty standard, but everything else is rather unusual. With El Nemesis on the DPS, Luminary, Black Swan on the Virtuoso, then Lone Cap on the Warrior. We do see a kill actually get secured here, but obviously blue team pretty far ahead at this stage. They might go for a kill onto Maya over here, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle, I think. Okay, we're going to watch some Lone Cap magic. Here we go. Okay, here comes the Rampage. Should be able to peel out this Luminary pretty effectively. Could it turn into a kill, though? That's the big question. El Nemesis goes back in. Here's the Rampage into the sun. That's a big one, but the blind is super annoying, actually. And here we go. Rifle hit. Oh, it actually does connect. And... well, I'm sorry, guys. If everyone on red team was as powerful as... and then actually obliterates through the wall as well. If everyone was as locked in as Lone Cap... I believe this would be a 500-0 in favor of red. I would love to see a kill actually get confirmed now onto this Necromancer. Lone Cap is going to go for it. Has Berserk up pretty soon. But the Ritualist is able to actually survive there. And yeah, the support is also in play here as well. So red team need to be very, very careful with this, I think. Oh, Amalgam does get taken out over there. So red team actually finding some really big wins. However, if this Luminary falls, that could be a bit of a counter push that blue team is looking for here. And yeah, looks like they are able to get it. Yeah, they kind of make it happen. It's not exactly ideal. I think Lone Cap's got to get out of here, I think. Where is the support in this, actually? The support is coming around, so maybe red team can kind of make their stand here. Virtuoso needs to be very, very careful. Probably ends up yielding there. I do like this, actually. Red team playing well. This is clean, to be fair to red team, actually. Didn't really get punished that hard for ending up losing this this Luminary. Luminary already back in the mix now. Red team still with the one, though. This fight is very important, though. Can red team actually find themselves a kill? No, they can't, because Lone Cap is not here. They need Lone Cap, I think, for basically anything really exciting to happen. Here we go. Here we go. Into the one shot. Is it going to land? Oh, it hits on the Amalgam. I think the Amalgam had that protection uptime there as well, so the crit really wasn't that massive. Yeah, that Amalgam gonna be hard to kill on this map, to be fair. A lot of very good kiting potential. But hold on, this Rampage could be pretty big. Actually, the support from blue team, very isolated. If this stun lands, oh, there was stability, so that stun is not gonna do anything. But hold on, the support is not out of the woods yet. If Lone Cap could find... I almost want to see them really push for a kill on the support. That would allow them to get a little bit of momentum on the map. Oh, that is a massive crit! Oh my god! What is going on here? But they don't quite get it. Can they maybe get this Amalgam? Okay, the Amalgam does, and the Warrior. Lone Cap is unironically carrying this game. I think this Luminary needs to be a little bit careful. I think red team are spreading themselves out a little bit too thin here. Like the Luminary perhaps not entirely sure where to be. Like it's a bit awkward rotationally, I think. Oh, wait, the Warrior actually does go ahead and Vengeance. Oh, wait, do we get a Vengeance res there? Oh, no, I think we actually did. That's really unfortunate. It is going to be fine, though, because we can leave it in a 1v... oh, in a 1v1. We can probably match with the Amalgam, right? Yeah, and that frees up the Virtuoso. So actually very nicely handled there by red, even though that was definitely not an ideal situation. However, oh, a brutal stealth burst there from Maya. Counters the other Virtuoso. Very nice pick there from the blue Mesmer. And now this Amalgam is going to be very, very threatened. The gotta push getting spiked down there by this Virtuoso. This is looking very hard to survive indeed. And Lone Cap dies on middle as well. Ooh, this has been a very rough set of interactions here for the red team, guys. They do still have a little bit of control on the map. I feel like the the Luminary is almost playing like some kind of crazy 1v1 game or like PvE game mode, not really interacting with the rest of the red team, kind of going it solo here, going for the far node. We'll be able to 1v1 into this Ritualist. Oh, the Ritualist. Wait, I think the Ritualist just massively underestimating the Luminary. You cannot stand on point versus that. Like, Ritualist is tanky and Luminary is not as OP as it once was, but that is very, very aggressive there. Now, the Blood Magic is doing a good job of resustaining this Necromancer, but a lot of resources have now been expended there by this Necromancer. If we could see a kill get pushed by this Luminary, that would be a really, really big deal. Gonna be hard to do so, though. Ritualist is notoriously difficult to actually secure a kill on. Very nice interrupt on the yield, forcing the stun break out, but there's no real damage left for the Luminary. This is the problem. We do have a port there. We go in for it, try to land a two, but oh, that blind well is gonna be a really big problem. Forced the renewed focus, and look at that. Yeah, Luminary's just not really a 1v1 spec. It was nicely played, to be fair, actually, by Nemesis, but it's just too much sustain on this Necromancer. So that's just not going to work out, really. And yeah, we need to figure out what to do. I feel like the story of this game has been Red Team not being entirely sure what to do with this Luminary. And it's cost them, I think, pretty dearly there. Maybe instead of having this Luminary, just have another Amalgam or something, or perhaps another DPS. Even just go full all in, commit to the meme, have another Berserker or something. Lone Cap once again obliterating, securing a kill there, getting the hammer. Red Team should be able to get this hammer and reset the map, but I'm struggling to see how they're going to hold on to the nodes, especially when their support just fell over. And well, that's the end of that. Lone Cap is trying to actually 1v million here. Lord Nils is about to fall. Ooh, very nice heals there. Good heal skill with that renewed focus, kind of saving the day. That's a little bit unlucky by Lone Cap, to be fair. That was like a one auto attack away from getting that kill. Just not quite enough damage to secure that kill. Lone Cap going to go back in. Oh, but this is just so tough. I'm just not really sure about this fight. The support being here is going to be so problematic. I'm not even sure the damage of the Berserker can break through, but hold on. Never mind. You never underestimate Lone Cap, apparently, guys. I didn't think that was going to happen, but it absolutely did. The damage is just colossal. Some nice portal action going on there, actually, to evacuate some of the players from the blue team. And even the Warrior using that mobility on staff. Such a great weapon for kiting around. Might not end up being enough, though. Ritualist is here to help out, but no, that's not going to be enough. Rit will have to escape, I think. Probably wants to run towards the hammer. Is going to do that. Oh, Lone Cap is a god. That was actually so good. This guy is cracked. Do you guys know? Look, if Lone Cap played a non-meme build, this guy would be rank 1. That was really intelligent play by Lone Cap there, by the way. Saw him trying to escape for the hammer, knocked him to the side, not ahead, and then got the lockdown into the kill. That is absolutely crisp from the Berserker here on the red team. Lone Cap 1v900. I don't think it's enough, though, unfortunately. Some nice play from this Berserker, but I just don't really see much of a win condition here for the red team here. Goes for this 1v1 into Maya. Two very high DPS builds capable of kind of one-shotting each other here, both respecting one another like quite a bit, as you might expect. They don't want to go down here. Red team have scrabbled to get point C, but Lone Cap needs to activate. He needs to find something now. Luminary on blue team is dead. Like, if Lone Cap could somehow get a kill onto Maya, that would be massive here in this situation. But El Nemesis is going to fall over. Where's the support? The support is nowhere to be seen. No banner available. That's going to be essentially impossible to revive. Unless it's some kind of crazy counter kill, I think this game is essentially going to be over, especially with that Virtuoso falling. And yeah, this is going to be a win for the blue team. I think there's honestly some real promise here. I do think that the comp from Red is a little bit weird. Like, I almost feel like if this Luminary was a Ritualist, I think we'd be pretty happy about that. And this is also Nemesis. Nemesis is also more than capable of playing Elementalist builds. Maybe perhaps going for a Toad or something of that nature could also be potent in this situation. Because what I think is problematic here is there's not enough classes that can really contend with the strong 1v1ers of the blue team from Red. Like, they aren't able to really hold onto these objectives and give openings to Lone Cap. Lone Cap, when he activates, it's pretty devastating, but there's not enough opportunities for him to do that. And that's why I think they need that extra really sticking power. They need something for Lone Cap to rotate into, right? That's the issue. Like, right now, like, he is struggling to generate value because he needs places to go where he can get an outnumber and secure a kill. But that's just not happening nearly enough, I think. So perhaps with a composition adjustment, Red team could really shine because they're playing well. They're doing a good job, but I just think that blue team obviously also played really well and just have that really powerful double side node approach that a lot of teams are utilizing right now because it just gives you that presence on the map. Yeah, that's how it is. But quite an exciting game there, I will say. And let's see. Oh, we actually have a crazy match here. I want to quickly check the UE team, see what roster is there. But then I think we're actually, guys, we're going to get into a banger game. We actually have Snowfall So Goated I Wanna Abuse versus Team Scythe. Okay, Capricorn, nice. That's actually a pretty fun map, I think. And let's see what we've got here again. This is going to be honest with you, this is going to be very favorable here for the red team. Red team, super strong matchup here, 100%. And on the red team, it is going to be the Spear Abuser, Zintrax. Also the Warrior, side node Warrior here, actually. Very big. Broken Content. The Lord of Darkness, who I believe is codenamed Salad, 1v9. Although definitely not. I believe he's actually a new player who's been trained up by Salad. Then Hypnos here as well. Kind of an interesting comp here, actually. The double Ritualist, kind of instead of the Amalgam. Although, you know, I think the Lord of Darkness could also play the Amalgam with no issue as well. Demolish on the Herald. Might be swapping over to a Hollowsmith later on. We'll have to see how that one goes. Although, you know, Demolish can play a whole bunch of different things if he so wants. And then Zintrax is very likely going to be on that Warrior. And yeah, you know, side note Paragon, it's no slouch, right? Like, you obviously do see it in this support position very prominently. But there are actually multiple Paragon builds that actually can perform pretty well at the same time. But yeah, this game going to be very, very favored towards red team. So let's go ahead and get into this really meaty game in the second round. Snowfall So Goated I Wanna Abuse versus
into the harbor. It's the Capricorn.
The Worms. So let's see what we've got. We actually have the Gale Shot. Not a surprise, actually. Like, Nigel's a big Ranger player, so not really a surprise to see that. Same with Alex on the Elementalist. Of course, you might expect to see the Amalgam, but the Toad is also a very, very strong option here from Alex. And I personally, I am a big fan of the Toad, actually. I think this Elite is just so nice for just winning a team fight, winning a 2v2, winning a 1v1. It's just so clutch. So unbelievably powerful in terms of that ability there as well. It is going to be the Luminary from Cranel. Of course, Shuriken is going to be on the support warrior. And then Denshi going to be on the Hollowsmith, of all things, actually. That's a very interesting approach. Potentially a bit of a counter pick, maybe. I'm not entirely sure on the nuances of these matchups, but maybe the Hollowsmith can actually do well into the Amalgam. I'm not entirely sure about that, but we'll see if that is going to be a little bit of technology to potentially have some kind of, like, favorable answer towards the Engineer on the enemy team. Let's see how this Cook ends up going there. Of course, the Gale Shot did get nerfed a little bit, but still has very, very potent damage. And is more than capable of also rotating around them quickly and also reviving. However, that's not going to happen as we actually have the kill there. Gets melted to death there by the combination of this Herald, in fact, coming from Tengu, and also the devastating damage, of course, of a kill 1v9 on the Amalgam. Still really putting in the work. I've got to say, I do like the blue team's comp. This is, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's pretty disgusting. We have double Amalgam from Scythe and Kill. And then I just love these two revs that are going to be... Are they both power? I believe they are actually both power as well. Oh, I love this. This is so exciting. It reminds me of the olden days, guys. We actually have a Herald combined with a Conduit, who are both just going to be absolute wrecking balls, rotating around the map, securing those kills as quickly as possible. Both builds having unbelievably devastating damage output. So we do have both of the Amalgams actually dying here. Goku able to get that revive quite nicely over there, but we do have Alex able to pick up this kill over here, which is actually a really, really nice victory there for Alex, getting a bit of map pressure there. Scythe getting completely bullied in this team fight. Can the French Worms turn this around? They have so much damage. If those Revenants are able to connect, it's going to be so disgusting. Code and Main in quite a bit of trouble. Looking forward to Guild Wars 3. Code and Main getting hunted down there by Glint. Glint actually can't make the jump, though. Glint 1v9 actually loses to the jumping and is eliminated by the Code and Main. And Scythe now exposed as well. Gets his heal off. Is it going to be enough? Support from the Warrior is nice, but Glint is down. But this team fight's going to be very difficult with so much of that damage output now removed. And bear in mind, we're on the red team spawn, so blue is going to have a really hard time actually rotating over here. I think they have to think about some kind of disengage. It's going to be difficult to do it, though. We do have a sword weapon swap available here for Goku. I think maybe he can somehow get away with this, but it's not going to be easy, and that Luminary is going to be able to find that kill. Herald also a little bit trapped over here as well. Yeah, slightly messy team fight there by the Worms. And they certainly do have to be careful, because they have a lot of damage, but it is a little bit glossier than their opponents, right? Like the Hollowsmith and particularly the Luminary, they've got a bit of beef to them, a little bit of meat. And so if they, you know, if blue team find their opening, I think they can basically one-shot people. They can devastate with that double power revenant. But if things start to get a little bit brawly, I think that's where Snowfall's so goated, I want to abuse Luminary, is going to kick in. And that is a very nice kill to pick up. No Herald going into this team fight is not going to be fun whatsoever for the French Worms. And I think, yeah, I think blue team maybe even considering conceding the bell. I don't think maybe Goku can make it in time. I think he actually just barely can, so it's going to be a warrior standoff there on the bell, so that definitely works out pretty well for them. But some good interactions here for the Worms. And Cranel going to try to 1v1 into Scythe. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to be much fun, I'll be honest with you. For the poor old Luminary. Luminary getting, oh no, and Scythe! Absolutely hard CCs end game mode onto the T-Salesman. But look, this is another really big strength, guys. Look at that. Look at the Gale Shot, man. I'm telling you, people underrate this build so much. Look how strong that revive is. Comes in, reses, turns it into a 2v1 and gets the kill. And that is the power of that Spirit of Nature, guys. I think we did have a relog there. Not sure exactly what happened there to kill. Kill going to go for the Ritualist instead of the Amalgam. We're going to go for a relog there. Not content with that double Amalgam. Want that Necromancer in there for a bit more kind of team fight presence, I want to say. More damage. And perhaps that Well of Darkness, also very useful, right, for those AoE blinds, having that presence, a bit more support in the team fight too. That does mean he's going to have to die. And that's going to put Team Snowfall in a very, very nice position. And here we go, Killer's now back, and yeah, this is a super nice skill, of course, for those big team fights. Can we save Goku? Oh, no, we can't. We might be able to get a counter kill. Losing that support is pretty painful, I think, for the Worms at this stage. Now they're falling behind. They've got the double cap against them as well. Soon to be a triple cap, and yeah, it's going to be the Ritualist into the Toad here. So here we go. Ritualist versus Toad in this 1v1, but again, like that relog has been very expensive, I do believe, for these Worms. Herald looking to pump here, or looking for the target. But they've got to shut down this Gale Shot, guys. Like I'm telling you, like the Gale Shot is a really major obstacle for them right now. Like they don't have a, you know, the power revs can kind of keep up with it and can certainly isolate it and pick it off, but they've got to have that presence of mind to focus this thing down. If you don't get rid of that Gale Shot, it's just going to eat you alive, especially seeing as it has that revive. You've got to get rid of this. Otherwise, some crazy Spirit of Nature stuff can happen, but here we go. There's the power of that Herald, the mobility coming through there, but they don't quite get a kill. A very nice response, actually, from Shuriken there with that healing. Next bell now coming up. Ritualist continuing this 1v1. I think at the end of the day, Ritualist is going to do pretty well in a lot of these matchups. It is one of the strongest 1v1 builds out there. I'm definitely a big fan of it. It's hard to kill too. It's like very hard to nail it down. Ooh, do we have a Spirit? Oh, I think he was a bit too pressured to use it. And even if he had got it off, I think he would have died regardless of that. But 2 kills now secured going into the bell there for Worms. Oh no, this is a disgusting banner though. They've got to kill this. Is that going to land? No, it is not. Good cancel there by Shuriken though to prevent that from actually being wasted. Once again, this 1v1. I've got to say, Alex on the Ellie is just so dangerous, guys. Look at this gameplay out of Alex, really putting the heat onto Scythe 1v9, who is actually currently in a huge amount of trouble. However, the support from Worms is big, able to rescue that Amalgam from going down, and it is going to be a bell secured for Worms. They equalize it, 1 bell apiece right now. Can they find the decut? Yes, they can. Kill has stalled the points there coming through from the red team. He actually doesn't greed, though. I like that a lot. Realize that there's going to be 2 players coming through there. Now we match it with this conduit. And here we go. Kind of think in the 2v2, weird 2v2 to be honest, but I actually would have to give it to slightly to the Worms, I think. They've got a little bit more ability, a bit more kill potential in that 2v2 if I had to guess. It's not going to happen anyway, though, as the Gale Shot decides it's better off going elsewhere on the map, going for a bit of a decap there. Herald looking to intercept that Ranger. Yeah, is going to deny this decap over here. Worms not super concerned about having this third node, right? They're just more focused on getting themselves a solid hold of the map and looking for their next set of kills as of right now. Goku looking to pump, looking to blast. Incredible.
Just like that.
And here comes Goku supporting that Necromancer. No Shroud on this Necro, so there's a moment of vulnerability here. But how is Cranel doing? Cranel actually does have his renewed focus up, but he's a little bit drained on his defensive cooldowns outside of that. Does have that F3, but is pushing very, very aggressively onwards. Cranel looking to pump there as well. Big damage from this Guardian. There's the port. Is Kill gonna fall? Yes, he absolutely is. Is there a banner from Goku? There is, but actually it is the counter banner that actually secures the kill there. But unfortunately, that is gonna be a kill secured there onto the Ranger, and he goes for the stop there as well. Both banners being used aggressively. You kind of love to see that. Very exciting. The T-Salesman is also in trouble. That renewed focus did not get him his health back. And of course, there is not enough support there coming through from Shuriken as well. And the T-Salesman has fallen.
The cannons are loaded.
And that is that. Scythe 1v9, securing this node. Very solid team fighting out of both rosters, to be fair. Actually, some really crazy decisive moves. Worms, though, slightly ahead on that. I do like the approach they have here. I think their team fight is going to be very hard to contest. Like, especially when you've got when you have all of this together, it's a bit like Exodia, guys. The Ritualist, the Herald, and the Conduit are just going to be dealing so much damage. And of course, the Amalgam is similar. You know, it's a 1v1 build, guys, but when you have this thing in the team fight with the short bow, with the flamethrower, with the flux state, it is so unbelievably dangerous. Although, to be fair, the same can be said to this build, which I do rather like out of Alex. This elemental procession is truly devastating when you connect it onto a target that is vulnerable and isolated. Kill Mage. Blasting away there. A little bit drained on Shroud, but still, I think, you know, relatively healthy there. A couple of thousand health left over. Gets some healing there, goes and tries. Ooh, and a nice CC onto the T-Salesman there as well. And the thing is, Cranel is obviously an absolute monster on this Guardian, guys, but Luminary, it is just a bit of a more vulnerable target. It really is. I like the attempted res there from the red team, but they don't quite get it, unfortunately. It was a couple of % off, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, and we actually do have a pick from Tengu, securing the kill onto the fake shower go at the same time. T-Salesman goes in, and blue team actually pick up the bell during all of that chaos. Kill was able to actually get enough channel on that. T-Salesman goes down, and this is going to be a victory for Worms. Keeping it cool after having a bit of a rough early game, I think. Losing a couple of players there, going for the relog onto the Ritualist from Kill. And this is going to be the last set of interactions here as the Coden main is going to go down. That will secure the game for the Worms. I want to see what Snowfall's going to do. This is potentially one of the most competitive matches in the tournament. It's going to end in a win for Team Scythe. Led by Team Scythe, coached by Esprit, of course. Esprit permabanned from the game. Still coaching. Securing victory here. And that's how it is. Okay. Wow, we've actually got some... well, I guess this match is kind of exciting. And here we go. Ooh, blue team here, looking very good. Can they lock in this game? I think they actually have kind of locked in this game by picking up that kill. Love to see them get this Reaper as well. Well, the Reaper kind of wriggling away here, being quite evasive. Blue Reaper also under some serious pressure here, actually. Wait, how many bells? Wait, could red team somehow win? Oh, wow. Big kind of comeback here from red. Is it going to be enough, though? Blue is slightly crumbling just a little bit here. This Reaper looking to bring the pain. Oh, they're slashing away. Oh, no. Glyn Eastwood maybe not paying attention to the fact there's a Necro on your ass. Not exactly what you want to see. Oh, hold on. This would be a disgusting res. Is that going to come through? No, it's not, because blue team... Oh, red team forget to contest the bell and lose the game. Unlucky. I mean, it is what it is. And that's how it is. Who's red team other than Cranel? It's Alex, Shuriken, Popo, Cranel, and... Wait, who's the last player on that team? So hard to remember. Like, my brain is rotted after being awake for so long. This is a good game here, actually, I think. Then we have, yeah, I think this game is pretty decent. This game is decent. This game actually might be decent too, to be fair. Oh, yeah, yeah, of course. Shaman, yeah, Denshi. Yeah, of course. The Shaman. Pretty cool, actually, to see what kind of got cooked up there with that Holosmith. I'm going to be curious if we see that again. All right. Here we go. It's going to be Kylo for the next match. And it is this double Necro, of course. Hypnos, very powerful on that Necromancer. We saw a crazy double Necro comp from 55 last month. But of course, Bell, one of the most legendary Necros on the EU server right now, combining with Hypnos to absolutely tear up the monthly. Back once again. Do like this build, guys. This is such a great build. I actually love to see this being played here. It's so cool. You have the malicious swarm here. So oh yeah, they're relogging for Shroud. Listen, guys, they're all dirty exploiters. Ban them. Yeah. Now, this is the Troubadour build. Now, I have heard about this build, guys. So, some say this is basically pink amalgam. Some say that. I have heard that said. Now, what's interesting about this build is that it did get played in the NA monthly. I think it didn't really work out super well in the last NA monthly, but I have heard this build is a bit of a machine. So let's see how it's going to do when it's being piloted by Dra. So what is this build? As you can see, hybrid build here with Tyrant Amulet, then you've got your Axe Torch and stuff, utilizing that new Chaos Aura trait here, which means kind of gives you that detonation, gives you the boons, gives you the AoE weakness, triple and confusion when you actually detonate those Chaos Auras. So that's going on there, and of course the Chaotic Interruption for the cooldown reset as well. But it of course also brings all of the value of the Troubadour, right? You have a bunch of support in team fights, right? You have the AoE Distortion, you have Null Field as well into the mix there as well. So a lot of very, very powerful team support, in addition to having some serious DPS coming through at the same time and being more than capable of handling itself pretty well in some of these team fights. So let's see how this build actually ends up working out here for the blue team. It's a double Mesmer approach, of course, with Caspi on this devastating Mirage build. The damage output is pretty ridiculous from rank 55, guys. Take a look at what we see here. What is going on, guys? We have Boyce, Untamed, Lethal, wielding the Shark as a weapon versus Zintrex. Caspi on Mirage, a lethal assassin on this DPS Mesmer. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, look at that throughput from the crocodile emoji. Hypnos getting ripped to shreds by the devastating power of the Gale Shot.
Just like that.
And this is classic 55, guys. This is an absolute classic rank 55 moment. We almost have 4 DPS builds here. This is what they love to do. This is what 55 love to play. Are we going to see a banner coming through? No, I don't think Misha is going to be able to pull it off. He doesn't even have it as he's already used it. But still, like, the aggression from 55 is just so massive. And the problem is, I'm not really sure how Red Team is going to contend with this. Like, that's the big thing for me, guys. Like, how are they possibly going to survive all of this damage? I'm not sure if they have enough damage of their own, really. Like, the one kind of killer instinct build they have here is this Herald from Demolish. But everything else, I feel like it's just a little bit too slow. Like, how are they ever going to catch this Gale Shot? How are they ever really going to punish Caspi? I don't think it's going to be easy whatsoever to do that with the approach that they have. Like, if Demolish is ever away or if Demolish is pressured, then how are they going to peel these pillars out? And I'll tell you what, they're not going to. The damage is absolutely insane from 55. Troubadour still has that juicy Tale of the August Queen available as well, if it is needed, but it is not, as Hypnos and the Spear Abuser have been taken out in this team fight. Broken Content is the next player on the list here from Demolish. Not on his Holosmith. If he was on Holosmith, it would be easy game, but that is not the case. Shout out to Demolish, by the way, for never getting permabanned. Love to see that, guys. Boyce and Zintrex in a fight to the death here, but yeah, this game is looking a little bit rough for Red. I will have to say that. Lord of Darkness is a player who has been permabanned, I think. Hypnos. I need to get a VPN sponsor, guys. Like, I've got to get on that, like, right now. But yeah, I think this game is a little bit over. Let's see. Is Red Team gonna get another big push? They're gonna go for a big push, but man, dude, this is just, it's despair. Pushing out on this map is so difficult. Like, it's such a hard spot to fight in my opinion. The opponent has all the advantage. You can see that crocodile emoji just raining down crocodiles all over the red team. Zintrex is going to be falling soon. The Spear Abuser is in the down state. Biggest aura ever is dead. And I think this is basically going to be game over, guys. That is the end of that. Let's see. Do we have... How is this game going? Yeah, this game actually is competitive, which is not a surprise, actually. This is a very strong team here on the blue team here. It is Team Maya. Ooh. We do actually have a defeated Ritualist, though, here on the blue team. That's not exactly what we want to see. And we do have Tengu here on the Luminary. Like, I am not sold on Luminary, guys. Look, I don't want to come off as, like, #1 Luminary hater. It's actually probably my favorite elite spec in the game right now, in fact. But I'm just not entirely convinced of its efficacy, to be honest. Like, it's almost... I feel like it's nearly good enough, right? Like, it is that kind of hybrid-y, DPS-y build, right? You've got that support component, you've got your healing, your Condi cleanses, you know, you've got a little bit of stability in the mix. You can heal your allies a bit and give them damage reduction, but I feel like it's just not quite good enough at many of the things that it does. Like, its damage is decent, but it's not amazing compared to some of, like, the really top-tier damage dealers. Feels like a bit of a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none kind of deal, which, you know, kind of makes sense, right? It would be a bit OP if it was how it was on launch, because then it was a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-all, right? It was a master of all trades. It was good at literally everything, which is not exactly what you want. But anyway, who is the blue ritualist? It is Upside Down Fallen Angel, which I don't actually know who that is, to be honest. It is some kind of alternative account, I believe. Oh, it's Asu. Well, there you go then. That's who it is. Nobody even has a main account anymore, guys. Maya has been eliminated. Virtuoso, of course, devastatingly powerful. Kind of reminds me of the, it reminds me of the Berserker in a way, right? Because it has that massive damage, but it is a bit vulnerable to getting focused down. I think this is the most ambitious res I've ever seen. I do respect it, though. But that is her main? How do I not know that? That's crazy. Well, I mean, look, never mind then. Now I know. Upside Down Fallen Angel. That's a good name. Anyway, ritualist content is happening here. Bit of a stale one, though, really. Ooh, hold on a minute, though. That Luminary is connecting a little bit alongside Kill. Support from the Blue Warrior is looking good. Maya coming in for the reinforce. That does mean that Red Team are going to have to be very, very careful. Good disengage out of them, though. Ooh, they're still pushing their luck because they know that Goku is moving in. They have to be careful. There's some serious DPS coming through. The stability is nice. Full Shroud from Kill. Let's see if they can actually push a bit of counter pressure now. Nice portal from Maya. That would allow Blue Team to escape here. But, ooh, that Necromancer... not quite close enough to the portal to go for it. Nice port, though, actually. Able to get into that portal. But that does end up conceding the node to Kill at the same time. And yeah, a bit of a struggle there. Looks like maybe the early game actually went well for Blue, or at least it kind of went okay. Looks like they were able to pick up one node, and Red Team didn't really contest it for a while. Because I've got to say, this looks tough. Like, Red Team are, to be frank, simply outmaneuvering their opponents here. Like, they are just not really offering any opportunity for the Blue Team to find any kind of value here. It's just not happening, right? Like, you know, it looked kind of okay there, but then we saw Goku come in, get the stabilization on that fight, and then just deny that. They had to portal away and concede the node. It's just not really working out well. To be honest, I feel like this is maybe not the... I feel like it's hard for Maya to get value here, like, especially with that portal. Like, the map is very, very linear, so it's hard to make, like, a really big, decisive, rotational play there with that portal. We do see a kill get secured onto Glint, but we have a banner. Ooh, actually gets denied there as well. Yeah, Goku is going for it, but a really crisp banner from Echoes of Suns, the Birds Part 1. Look, honestly, we've got to rename to the Birds Part 2 after that stomp. That was pretty clean. But the issue is... look at the map, guys. Look at the map, guys. That's not good. as we see some pretty major issues start to emerge in this game. And Worms, despite being down a player, feel confident to contest. Like, they're being driven away here a little bit there. Nice portal is now active, will ferry away various players, allowing for a speedy rotation over to middle. Maya getting that decap, very, very nice there as well. 2 for the price of 1 decaps there. But the Worms have got themselves a very, very sizable advantage here. And yeah, guys, look, I felt a little bit bad last time, because last time, guys, when I was casting the Race Worlds first with Method, I think I did forget about the monthly or something, and I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't intentional. I just completely forgot about it. So, look, let it not be said that I do not learn from my mistakes. I actually very specifically changed my availability such that I'd be able to be here for the monthly in this kind of round of progression for World of Warcraft. So yeah, you're all welcome. I specifically remembered and made sure I was going to be here because I know you guys want to see the monthly. I know not a lot of people stream it, right? So I know I had to be here for the Guild Wars 2 monthly, right? Maya does get taken out once again. And yeah, it's looking like a very, very challenging game from here on out there for Team Maya. I almost would want to see some kind of cook with the Thief. I know Maya's a really big Spectre fan, but we saw Sind absolutely annihilating on that Deadeye. So perhaps it's time for a new variant of Thief, perhaps. Because I think that would be an interesting comp that you could really potentially throw people off with there as well. I do think that Virtuoso is pretty difficult to actually get value against such an experienced team. We have Glint relogging. Not exactly sure that might have happened. He may have got stuck in terrain. He may have disconnected. Who knows? But yeah, this game is... It's kind of over, to be honest.
Did you see that? Red team got a capture point.
No, he has not been banned. Glint 1v9 is an esteemed player. Yeah, this is, I think some people are asking about the build. It's the standard power conduit build here, guys. As you can see here. Utilize it. Look at this. Oh, man, it's so disgusting. Brutality. And you've got the Fury with Roiling Miss as well. Very, very juicy. Very, very juicy indeed. Kill kind of facing off against this Amalgam. I think, the funny thing is, Ritualist, I think, does pretty well into the Amalgam. But it's not fun. You're not going to enjoy yourself while you're doing it. Like, you can do well, but, you're going to want to uninstall at the same time. Goku, I think, not going to get that res. He actually does end up burning the banner too, but again, they're at the stage where they can just kind of just hold on, and that is good enough. Like, just be annoying, run around, like, Scythe is trolling, like, standing on the point, just being super annoying. Kill gets the cap on the other side of the map. Scythe now going to go for the disengage. As long as they keep doing this, they are completely fine. They are going to be completely fine. Yeah, they're not going to give up the node here on the mansion either, obviously. Oh. And this is just going to be a slow crawl towards the finish line in favor of the Worms here. That's classic Worm style, right? Like, they are very known to, once they have a game in their grasp, they're not going to let it go. They love to control the map. They love to play rotationally, to play all 3 of the objectives at the same time. Going for one last team fight, and blue team needs to devastate this if they want to win, and it's going to be tricky. There's no renewed focus on this Guardian, to be fair, actually, and that is a bit of a, there's a moment of vulnerability, but never mind as the Virtuoso just gets thrown into the meat grinder of the Worms team fight machine. Luminary falls over there as well, and I think with this decisive team fight victory, the Worms are going to lock it in. They are going to get it done. Scythe 1v9 secures the mansion as well versus the Ritualist against the upside down Fallen Angel, and that is going to be the end of the game. That's it. Luna, thanks for the tier 1. Appreciate it. All right. Why is Ritualist played over Reaper in tourneys? Like, because Reaper almost like doesn't really fit very... I think you actually could make it work, to be fair. Like, I think you could make Reaper work. But it almost, like, doesn't fit into the meta super well. I think it's, like, a little bit... It's kind of easy to focus down and, like, shut down the team fight. Like, it can 1v1 okay, to be fair, actually, especially, like, the new build. But it just doesn't really fit super well into, like, how the game is played right now and, like, how the games work out. But you can definitely play it. And in fact, Hypnos is, right? Like, Hypnos is playing it, and Bell and Hypnos played it in the last AT with Sind and Misha, and they very, very nearly won as well. And I think Double Reaper was pretty bad, but yeah. Oh, super nice comeback here, by the way, by the red team guys. Uber Edgemaster gets a beautiful kill into Lord Jobless. So that's very, very nice indeed. But they need to make sure that they actually get ahead because there's only 2 minutes on the clock. They don't want to give up that node. We've got to see another kill though. Oh, that Reaper is going to go down actually. No stun break over all 3 players. Oh, that was such a beautiful stun by the Reaper, allowing themselves to get res. There was no stun break available to finish that kill or interrupt the res. However, red team is slowly winning this. And this Mirage is doing so much damage. Candy attack is going to go down. Zagathrax looking for Hot E-Girl. Well, you're not going to... Well, maybe you can find one at the spawn, I guess, when the Mirage sends you there. And this is going to be a miraculous comeback here by the red team. Wow, they were so far behind, but they just got kill after kill after kill. And in particular, Zagathrax obliterating right now towards the end of this game. Red team are now ahead, so they win on timer if the game does end up stalling or slowing down a little bit. Ooh, a little bit spooky to have this 1v1. The Mirage needs to be a little bit careful to not get mean. But, of course, the damage is devastating there by the Mirage. I think just going for the kill here is going to win it. Wait, what is going on there? Wait, oh, they're actually not on the node. I thought they were on the node, but no, they actually don't need to go for the kill. That is going to be a little bit of a micro bleed there. To be fair, probably could have gone for the kill immediately as well, but does not matter at this stage whatsoever. As the game is over, red team is now going to guaranteed win, especially with getting that cap over there on middle. Of course, the Xenoverse running around in circles, being annoying on this node. What class do you recommend to a new player with the base game and the first 2 experts to get into and learn PvP and also Guilds 2? Any. Whichever one you like the most. It does not matter what you play. That is true. By the way, actually, bonus tip, that is true in every game. If you are a new player, it does not matter what you play. And here's why. You are bad. In fact, you're terrible at the game when you're a new player. So it doesn't matter. You'll learn quick and figure out how to do things, but as you're a new player, what you pick is gonna change your effectiveness in a fairly limited way. Pick whatever you think is fun and go from there. And that is the end of that round, I believe. Okay. Ooh, it's a big one. Snowfall So Goated. I want to abuse. Versus the Master of Disaster on the Forest of Niflhel. This is a big one. Now, of course, we did see Snowfall. A pretty close game. Tight game. Versus the Worms. Let's see how they actually face off against rank 55 Dragons on the red team. It'll be Nigel on this Gale shot, but this time not going to be alone. We'll be matched by the crocodile emoji of Oki. Alex, I think going to be facing off against Dra, probably, if I had to guess. Or potentially Boyce as well, actually. On the Untamed over here. Shuriken, 1v1 support battle versus Misha, the Master of Disaster. Going to be playing basically the same build, I think. Oh, let's see, actually. Let's see. Shuriken is going to go for Phalanx Strength. Is it going to be Martial Cadence for Misha? It is, yeah. I actually am a little bit in favor of this choice as well. Obviously, you know, I haven't been playing the game that much recently, but in general, I do like Martial Cadence. I think the quickness is really good. I think removing Condis, like even if it's not Condi DPS, like removing Blind and, you know, other debilitating conditions is really good. But more importantly, you get these soldiers' comfort, so you get that protection uptime as well, which I think is actually super, super nice. Whenever you weapon swap, right, you get that soldier's comfort refreshed, which I think is super, super good. You do get a little bit less might output from it, though.
Seize theirs.
I think the build to watch here is going to be this Troubadour, though. Because this is a build that I think is... not many people on EU are playing that. I think this was kind of something that has emerged. I think we might see pop up on NA, at the very least. Apparently, it is very strong. We're about to find out how strong it really is. Boy's going to be going far. Not terribly surprising there, right? We're on the Hammer Untamed, so we want to be slamming some of these big 1v1s, I think, does Boyce. And then it's going to be Caspi. He's going to be the big playmaker on this Mirage. And look at that. The damage is just too much. And Misha just says, no, you're not getting that res. That is not happening whatsoever. Going for that instant stomp. But all of a sudden, Cranel just in so... Oh no, is Cranel DC'd? That does not look good to me. It looks like he was kind of just walking there. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe either a desync or potentially some kind of disconnection issue. It's not entirely obvious what's going on there. But regardless of that, a very strong start there for rank 55 Dragons. Shuriken trying to cut away, but the outnumber in favor of blue is going to be a little bit rough here. It's not exactly going to be ideal. And there's so much damage. Like, this is going to be a very different experience. Like, I really want to point this out, guys. Like, 55, they do play pretty differently from a lot of the other teams, right? They just play so much more aggressively than a lot of other teams. Like, if you see, you know, compare this to the Worms, right? They have a fairly defensive style, I would say, compared to 55. And playing into that is a completely different experience, right? Like, this is not the same thing. Now, we do have a DC, Crocodile Emoji. Shout out to Crocodile Emoji. Is actually going for the honor there until Cranel is able to return. So obviously a 4v5 is simply unplayable in the extreme for the team that only has 4 players. We do see Dra actually get taken out here as well. That's certainly not exactly what you want to see by that 1v2 there with the Gale shot taking out that Troubadour over there. Meanwhile, we have Caspi picking up middle. Boyce looking to get established here on this node. I think as soon as this gets capped, I think we're going to see some rotations here, because at the end of the day, Boyce is just going to be left to 1v1. Yeah, Misha now going to start to rotate elsewhere on the map. Blue team weren't able to get middle, which is a little bit awkward. Crocodile Emoji practicing the jumping puzzle over here as well. It's like Cranel, I think, is trying to relog by the looks of this. It's a little bit hard to see, but we'll have to find out how that one's going to go there as well. We actually have this, the Gale shot trying to get away. Big heals from the Warrior should be inbound. Some barriers there as well, but is it enough to keep this Ranger alive? Yes, it absolutely is. Some nice line of sighting going on there as well, denying some of that aggression coming through from the blue team. Well, with 4 players, it can be a little bit awkward, right? Like, you know, you do have less players to cover all the objectives. And tell you what, not having that Gale shot is a bit of a pain. It is a little bit of a pain, guys, for 55, because that's their damage, right? Like, that's a big part of their damage. And right now, they only really have the Mirage. And don't get me wrong, saying only there is maybe a little bit of a meme, because the damage of this Mirage is unbelievably powerful. One of the strongest roamers in the game right now in terms of its raw throughput. And you can see that burst damage there. But again, like 55, they were pretty reliant on having 2 of these, just running around them, absolutely destroying things. And without that, like, if Caspi isn't in the mix, they're going to struggle to find kills. And Boyce is kind of beating down this Hollow, but is about to get 1v2'd as well. Well, Cranel appears to have not made it back, and that is very problematic, guys. Like, we really have to hope that Cranel is going to come back into this game, because again, like, if they do actually have a long-term DC, that will basically kick them out of the AT, as he will not be able to accept the queue. Looks like, no, this is the UI bugging out. Ignore that. But anyway, not a lot of movement in terms of points right now, but again, it's a 4v4. That's kind of what you'd expect, to be completely honest with you. And yeah, like, this Troubadour perhaps not quite able to win into Alex here, which is another thing. And yeah, Boyce also not really making crazy big pros. Oh, hold on a minute. Having said that, is he going to be able to find this kill onto this Holosmith? No heal skill for a while there. Oh, but that Hollow actually gets a nice connection. Good Signet of Stone there coming out from Boyce, denying that damage. Can either of these players actually find a kill on the other? That's the question. Really clean dodge there from Boyce, avoiding that Hollow Forge 5. But is it going to be enough? Oh, he has his own heal skill. I think he's pretty comfy now. Now he's going to go in for the kill with the hammer. Can he find it? This will be a really big pickup for Boyce. Ooh, wants to go for the node instead of that. I kind of like that. A more conservative play, you know, which is probably the correct one in this particular case. Can he actually find this kill, though? It's so unbelievably close, but the sustain on the Hollow is very, very good. Cranel still not back into the mix. Dran not really getting anything done over here. Could maybe go for it. Yeah, does actually manage to get a cap there alongside Caspi, kind of forcing the issue here. They get decapped the middle, but Misha is finding it as well. However, this 1v1 is going to get interrupted by Nigel. And Boyce is going to have to hold on for a little bit. Yeah, that's just not going to happen. It's a bit too much damage. Having said that, not a bad trade for 55. In fact, I think a very good trade. Like, losing Boyce, not the end of the world there, because the Warrior and the Mesmer are in position to actually defend the keep here, and we have Dra fighting on his node at the same time. So, to be honest, very favorable exchange there for 55, especially seeing as Boyce is now back into the mix. Now, the question is, yeah, we're going to see Boyce plus in there instead of going for an immediate cross. They want to really go for a kill here. I wonder if we'll actually see Boyce go for a replace, or if he's going to go ahead and rotate back over to the mine. Looks like it might end up being a bit of a role reversal here, as the Holosmith is now pushing across from the red team. Who's going to stay and defend the henge? Someone's got to do it, actually. They need to be a little bit careful. Someone has to respond. It is going to be Dra. Yeah, they notice the Elementalist now coming back into play, but Dra is already ready to actually encounter that player. And Kranel still does not exist. Crocodile emoji just chilling out in this 1v1 era. Ooh, a kill will be really big. Can Caspi get it? Yes, he can. There is a banner. Is it going to get interrupted? Yeah, great CC there from Boyce. And that's going to be a confirmed kill, 55. And they're in a very good position now. Because bear in mind, in a 4v4, any death is obviously much more impactful than in a 5v5, right? And that means that with that player dead, that's not a lot of damage, really. In fact, that's basically the only real damage dealer for the red team, right? Is the Gale shot. So if 55 can actually get that elimination, that's going to put them in a very, very good spot. Now, Boyce is probably... Ooh, hold on a minute. Boyce is about to be in a 1v3 scenario. Can he actually get out there? Looks like Snowfall is going to go for a bit of a different rotation here. They're going to go ahead and put the Toad into the Untamed. That's why Alex is rotating in, and they want to basically have their Engineer on the other side of the map, potentially into this Hollowsmith there. As we see the Code and Main now moving in. Now, 55... do have a pretty big advantage here. And it's not a lot of points, but in a game like this, where it's a 4v4, actually, it is a lot of points. That's a lot of time represented by this kind of 60, 70 point advantage. 55 have got it all, especially if they find another kill, and Caspi is going to go for it. Here we go. Can he find that kill? We have Shuriken desperately trying to go for support. Maybe he is going to have to use the banner. Really nice healing, actually, coming out from Shuriken, keeping that whole alive. Wow, really clean here from the red team. Can he get out? Does have his Elixir B up. Can grab himself some boons. Good evasion. Has the shield 5 up in a couple of seconds. Can he hold on? But no, it's not enough. There is a banner available. Can he go for it? He's going to go for it. No. Really nice interrupt there with that Spear 5, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, I think it was just like maybe it was like a regular mantra thing or some kind of CC. I don't even know what it was. But it was a CC, I think, from the Mesmer, denying that res. And Caspi prevents that from happening. Ooh, hold on, though. It takes a big hit, though. Very, very big hit. And now it's a very weird team fight thing that's kind of emerging going on here. All of 55 rotating into this. It looks like they just want to go for some big kills and then push the map. Warrior is about to fall over. And this could actually be a fairly dangerous play for 55 to make. Because if they're able to get multiple kills, they can really cement their hold on the map. Yeah, they can. And that's probably going to get them a decap on far, by the way. That's very, very relevant. Oh, Kranel is actually back now, guys. Kranel is back into the mix. And that's why we did see the crocodile emoji start to get involved there, as you can see. But there is the reconnect now. Dra dealing with the beast, kind of waiting for potentially the elementalist to go for a push. Got a bit of spare time. Might as well get it done. Does so very, very effectively. Caspi getting focused down hard. Does have another shield block if he can actually break out of that CC in time to use it. But the unblockable from the fake shower go actually finds that beautiful res there from the Master of Disaster, though. Actually, I think it was from the crocodile emoji. It was indeed from the Spirit of Nature. And 55 managed to weather the storm in this team fight. They're turning around now as well onto Nigel. Signet of Stone running out very, very soon. The vulnerability is coming through. But actually, it's Boyce who takes some heavy fire in this crazily chaotic team fight. And Caspi, also not really super healthy, is probably going to be quite cautious about going for an engage. Maybe is now going to try for the finale. Goes for the kill. The T-Salesman ports in, though, but the distortion, the evasion is big. And actually, it's going to be Caspi maybe looking to go for a kill onto the T-Salesman. And there it is. Kranel is going to go down. Massive healing coming through from Misha. T-Salesman dead. Nigel dead. Dra actually dead. Code and Main just finds that kill in the 1v1. That's actually a big deal here. But 55 still a decent bit ahead. And with this crushing teamfight victory, I think even this unfortunate 1v1 loss is not really going to be a huge deal for them. It's Oki and Caspian 55. 55 very rarely play with full team. Basically, any team that has like a Misha, Boyce, Dra on it, that's 55. Or Sind, obviously. Alex is going to fall here as well. Boyce holding firm. Very close match, though. Although, I'm going to be honest with you, it's really hard to draw conclusions from a game that was a 4v4 for a long period of time. That's just a very weird situation. As you can see, like, the game was basically one node apiece while it was 4v4, because when you have a 4v4, it's just so difficult to actually get kills, to be honest, because you just, you know, with how sustainy everything is, like, everything's very tanky, everything's very mobile. It's kind of hard to find that opening, especially when the player that left was like a damage dealer, leaving a lot of very durable builds on the red team. And of course, a damage dealer was then traded for on the blue team as well. So it was a very weird game during that 4v4 period. 55, of course, did manage to get themselves a bit of an advantage. They now find it again with killing the Teal Salesman and the Shaman going downstate there as well and being eliminated. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you what's been putting in the work, guys. I'll tell you, it's the Toad. This build, you know, people are kind of hyped up about Amalgam these days, and for good reason, to be fair. Amalgam is unbelievably strong. That's why it does pop up so often. But I'm telling you, man, Alex is incredibly good on this Elementalist. Very well known for his early gameplay. And the Toad has been really putting in the work so far in this AT, in my honest opinion. It has been doing very, very well in these 1v1s. And, ooh, well, I say that. I like the idea there, but did just get caught by the massive CC Apocalypse coming out 55. It was good to go for that elite skill usage to try and peel out the fake Shower Goat, but the fake Shower Goat kind of got out anyway, and yeah, Alex does end up losing his life in all of that melee. However, having said that, guys, 55 is zerging quite a bit. Like, they are trying to find this momentum here, and it's not easy. Nice res there from the fake Shower Goat, by the way. There's a little bit of zerging going on by 55. They've got to get on the map and actually neutralize these points. Dra, I don't think, should get this. Alex is going to make it. There we go. Now, Boyce is going to be able to get it done here as well and go for this cap here at the same time. Cranel's going to intercept, but that's, oh, yeah, it's not really where he wants to be. I think the Coden main is what we want to go on there. So we're going to go for a 2v1 there. 55 winning that team fight on mid might have just kind of secured them that game. That looked a little bit dicey there, but I think getting that kill on Alex and then crushing the team fight is going to be able to get them this win in this game. But Snowfall, yeah, they are looking to win here. And obviously a very frustrating game for them. A very weird game for 55 with that kind of DC stuff that is going on there. But yeah, Boyce goes for this kill there. Misha gets the res onto Caspian. The T-Salesman's going to fall. And to be honest, they could simply go for the Beast to end the game. But I do not think they are going to need to. 5 points come through. And yeah, that is going to be that. 55 win. Man, I have been sitting down for way too long today. I need to like lie on the floor for a moment. Oh,
Red
man.
Team wins a capture point.
Oh, my back is absolutely destroyed. I have been playing video games for too long, man. Oh. Oh, man. Here you casting Race Wars first with Method. Okay, now this is going to be a game. Temple as well. What a map for it. And once again, we know these players. It is going to be Misha, Boyce, Caspi, Dra, and Crocodile Emoji versus Scythe. It's going to be the double. We're going to be playing the double Amalgam this time, not the Necromancer. Because we saw Kill play the Necro. I think Kill actually pretty well known. Bit of a multicast, to be fair, is Kill actually. But I think certainly very well known for being excellent on the Ritualist. And on the Engineer too, actually, to be fair. Any NG build, any Necro build, I'd say. Goku on Support Warrior. And we do see a pretty different approach here. Like, in a way, the styles here are somewhat similar. Because if we kind of draw parallels, right? The Mirage and the Gale Shot are the Revs, right? Like, they're the Herald and the Conduit. The Untamed and the Troubadour are the Amalgams. And then obviously the Support Warrior is the Support Warrior. So I think both of these rosters actually have a pretty similar idea, in a way, about how to play. But the big difference is, of course, like what classes are ending up being used here in this situation. Already, we actually do see the Herald get obliterated very, very quickly there. Meanwhile, you have this Troubadour kind of chasing down Glint over here. Not sure if that's going to be a huge amount of fun here for the Conduit. A lot of conditions coming out there from that Mesmer, causing some pretty serious havoc for this Conduit. Trying to hold on there. Of course, the Conduit still able to do some serious DPS. Dra needs to be very, very careful not to basically get completely obliterated here. If any of these Sword 2s land. Oh, that's Sword 3. Ooh. Forcing the Elite out is Glint. However, he is really running out of sustain here, but actually finds it. Glint 1v9. Basically gets the clean 1v1 there into draw on that conduit. Of course, did get a little bit of a help there from that Herald coming in there, but oh no, the Mirage goes down too, and Boyce as well. That is a major, major issue, guys, here. 455. And here comes Misha. They're climbing onto this little icicle there to avoid death. But some big map pressure now coming up from Worms. And ooh, yeah, that's not ideal for this start there. Dra's going to come back, but it's going to be a triple cap for Worms. If we see this team fight go amiss here, we could be really scared. But actually, hold on. Ooh, that Herald getting focused down so hard. And that makes a lot of sense. The Herald is one of those classes that can be pretty vulnerable. It's the same thing with the Conduit, really. That there's a good amount of squishiness that is present here on the Worms team. And yeah, perhaps a little bit too overeager to push into those respawns. Gets focused down, gets completely destroyed. But certainly knife edge survival for basically everyone on both these. Oh, hold on. If Misha gets picked here, that would be unbelievably catastrophic. Dra's actually going to go down there as the support warrior was driven away from that team fight, allowing the DPS to connect. Oh, but Glint does get taken out. Can we see a rally here? They've got to finish Dra, I think, because there could be some rally war stuff going on. Very nice banner there from Me Goku, Me Heal. Worm Goku
wins a capture point.
getting that security there. Misha now dropping down to reinforce on the middle. Boyce trying to stall as much as he can. May have to disengage here as well. Definitely in a very difficult situation. Oh, Misha, though, just getting caught out here by Glint and 55. Perhaps thrown off their stride just a little bit. Glint going for that decap, and the Herald is here as well. Misha is just getting run around the map right now with these Revenants. Ooh. Goku perhaps overstaying his welcome a little bit, though. Like, there's just nothing that can survive the sheer power of this Mirage. Don't think Glint can really do too much about getting that warrior back. One side actually facing off against Boyce. Boyce doing very, very well, of course. Like, even though the amalgam is strong. This is Boyce, guys. They don't say no Boyce, no win for no reason. Now, bear in mind, think about the actual grammar of that statement, guys. No Boyce, no win does not mean guaranteed win if you have Boyce. It just means that you can't win without Boyce. So it doesn't mean we're going to win, or 55 are going to win, but it does mean that they have the ability to win, because they have Boyce. I tell you what, it is a very, very bloody game, and it's not a surprise, actually. The amount of damage out here and how squishy the damage dealers are is going to lead to an incredibly aggressive match with a lot of kills about the place. Very nice 2v2, though, coming through from the blue team there, getting that kill onto side, and all of the Worms are basically dead. Just Goku and Tengu are now alive. They will be able to hold this. Well, actually, no, not with the third player coming in. Ooh, I think Dra picked up the buff as he was crossing over as well, getting that neutralization. All of a sudden, big point gain here for 55. They're actually going to get a triple cap, I think, or at least, unless there is a contest from Glint, that will be a massive amount of points coming through there from the red team if they're able to do that. Are we going to see Misha get that cap? Yes, we are. I think we're going to see a couple of that triple stillness proc. Look at that, 6 points per tick right now. Worms falling behind. Crocodile emoji, though, does die. That could be the Worms opening back into this game. Okay, here we go. And now the Worms have reestablished, and this is a crazy map, guys, right? Like, weird things can happen, right? Like, this is Temple of the Silent Storm. Anything can happen at basically any moment. Oh! That was an absolutely vile, putrid pull from Goku, removing the support. Is it going to do anything, though? It certainly means that red team won't want to fight. That's for sure. Essentially defuses this fight, maybe makes the rotation a bit awkward as Misha is now on middle, where I don't think he wanted to be there until about now. Now is going to rotate away, but I'll tell you what, Kill is going to be pretty exposed here. That's so much damage. Boyce and Caspi, it's too much. He falls almost immediately, and now it looks like 55 are the ones who have actually kind of scattered and fractured the Worms. The Worms perhaps slightly behind in the game rotationally compared to their opponents. Me Goku, me heal. Looking to actually support this Herald. And let's see, what are the Worms looking? What is their next target going to be? Where are they going to go? Looks like they want to go for Dra again, or, well, probably that Gale shot. And there we go. The Herald goes in. Is Glint also going to make a rotation? No. And Worms are outnumbered here, right? Like, they got to bear that in mind. They can't really commit to this fight that much. I'm surprised they're playing this as aggressive as they are. They're even, like, trying to get a kill here almost into Crocodile Emoji. Like, if they won that 3v4, that would be truly outrageous, but that is certainly not going to happen, at least not anytime soon. Very impressive hold, though, by Worms, recapturing that node. Now maybe looking for a kill onto Caspi, but Worms need to hold here. Goku cannot die. If he dies, this is going to be an absolute disaster here for the Worms, but they actually do a bit of a Miracoli hold there. Even getting that was insane. That was massive gameplay out of Worms. Side needs to not die, though. He really cannot die here, I think. Otherwise, all of that work may end up being for nothing. I think that was greedy out of Scythe, guys. Coach Esprit needs to have a word with him after that, let me tell you. They do manage to get that res. Bottom buff is now in play too. Ooh, Crocodile Emoji is vulnerable. Yeah, he got CC chain, had that Signet of Stone, but the Worms recognized that was going to run out very, very soon. Scythe going to go for this contest here as well. Bottom buff is in play here, I believe. Misha has been sent down versus the Amalgam. I actually don't hate that, to be honest, because in a way, like, this keeps one of the Amalgams off the map that might allow 55 to destabilize things, and I don't think the Amalgam can really kill the Warrior off the node, right? There's no node to contest, so the Warrior can simply run around in circles, so this should basically be an infinite fight unless there is some kind of outside interference here, at least for the time being. And Glint now going to go here, and like the reason why I feel like it's maybe kind of good to have the support out of this, it means that you can just have your side noders be super annoying and there won't be that much of an answer for them. We'll see if I'm right about that very, very soon. However, Tengu in a huge amount of trouble. There's the block and a nice burst coming through there from the Gale shot. And of course, from the Mesmer at the same time. That res is looking basically impossible. There's just a little bit too much damage there. Goku does not have a banner. Like, he went back for that res. I respect it. That's pretty based, but that's not going to happen. Decap will come through now as well from Misha. Misha has now been liberated out of this, and Dra has been thrown to the mix. So now it is just like a side noder for a side noder, a 1v1 that will almost certainly never end unless someone decides to get into the mix. Worms really making this game competitive. Scythe gonna have to face off against Boyce once again. Meanwhile, we actually have Goku probably looking to get replaced here on middle. It's gonna be Glint, I think, coming in. No, it's the Herald, sorry. But yeah, you can see the damage of that Mirage. The Warrior just doesn't have the counter pressure to realistically actually sustain on the point against that Mirage forever. It is going to always be a bit of a limited down thing there. Can Goku actually get away from this? He's going to get his heal, doesn't get entered. That's actually a big deal. He gets it off. But the thing is, he's now getting blasted by Dra at the same time. However, things are a little bit spicy here for 55. And yeah, like, Dra actually does get taken out there by the Herald and the Amalgam at the same time. Very nice res there by Goku there. Oh, sorry, by Misha, of course. But Boyce has fallen, actually. And hold on a minute. I'm not totally sure about this 3v3, to be honest, guys. It's very, very squishy here for the red team. Maybe if Caspi can get a big connection, he's looking to go for it onto Goku. Can he get it? Yes, he does. There's not going to be a res potential there. Maybe even there's no going to be no stomp, actually, because the banner was already used. But actually, a very nice 3v3 there from that Mirage. It looks scary to me, but actually, you know, Caspi's got some good hands on him, that guy. He really does. Navigates it and makes it happen. Boyce actually gets back up on his feet and then kills Scythe as well. And 55 getting win everywhere, but then again, they're also getting losses everywhere at the same time. It's very, very confusing, to be honest, with what's going on. There's so much action in this game all at the same time. Oh, yeah, and Glint did do very well in this 1v1 to be before, to be fair, actually, versus this Mirage. But it looks so terrifying, doesn't it, guys? It is so scary in this 1v1. I think 55 getting the better end of these trades there, getting that 1v1, getting those kills, securing the side nodes. Worms starting to get put into a slightly desperate situation. They need to find something pretty soon. They've got to get a big win relatively soon, or they will be in some serious trouble. Could this be the kill coming through here from the Amalgam? I very much doubt it, to be honest. So hard to get a kill in the 1v1 here, in my opinion. Lots of Condi cleanse here as well from the Elixir C. Makes it hard for that Troubadour to really connect, but the problem is, I think just the mobility, the blink, the distortion will make it very hard to actually secure a kill directly onto this Troubadour. The Condi pressure looking pretty scary actually here, but Worms starting to run out of time though. They need to make something happen. Scythe looking to go for the decap on the temple. Nobody contesting the altar. At this stage, we might need a bit of a desperate play. We almost do need to find a bit of a miracle here on the map, as 55 have got themselves into a very, very good map state. And actually just another kill secured by this Mirage from Caspi might just be the end of this game. I'm not sure if there's any real way to get out of this game. And listen, you guys can't cry about Amalgam. I think the Zero Amalgam team is actually going to win here, I'm afraid. I'm sorry, guys. Like, you are low skill. Just play Untamed. Just play Troubadour. No need to play Amalgam. And this is going to be a 55 victory, I think, almost certainly, yeah, especially with that middle decap. No points left over. I think the only way that this is even remotely winnable is by some kind of insane Hail Mary play to the bottom buff, I think. But that is going to be essentially impossible. We do not have time for that. Like, Glint would have to go down and one-shot Gatsby. Oh! Okay. Yeah, that's brutal. That is absolutely brutal, guys. Crocodile emoji actually finding that kill onto Tengu. Very unfortunate. And yeah, there's no real time. We do actually have that kind of Hail Mary play here coming through from Glint, but it's a little bit too late. And yeah, the top fight also collapses. And that is the end of that. 55 win. Amalgam not required. Very intense match, of course. And yeah, now we're going to the quarterfinals, one to elimination now. Let's see what we've got going on here. We have the Master of Disaster versus WMD Violate. We have Scythe versus Team Maya, I believe. And then Snowfall So Goated I Want to Abuse versus, I think, a French team of some kind, or, well, some level of French gaming. Then we have LFG Sugar Mommy or Daddy. Goodness me. Yeah, that's a little spicy team name there. Versus the Thermal Runaways, led by Karasia, aka Yui here as well. So basically, all 4 strong teams, in my opinion, kind of have their own match, with the exception of Scythe versus Team Maya. There's kind of like 5. There's 5 like very strong teams here, and this is like a 1v1 between 2 of those teams. The other ones is like a strong team Snowfall here. And then obviously 55, and then obviously the Thermal Runaways team here. I think this will be very favored towards Thermal Runaways. This will be very favored towards Toil and Trouble. This will be very favored towards Snowfall there as well. So it's gonna be exciting to see what I think both semis are gonna be pretty spicy, guys. I'm just saying, like, we're gonna have a pretty exciting final set of matches here. 100%. I think this game is probably the spiciest. In the quarterfinals. I think the other ones will be relatively straightforward. But to be fair, you know, red team is certainly no slouch here. I think Worms are pretty favored here on Capricorn as well. We have the Sugar Daddy team. Wait, is that Lone Cap's team? Who even is it? I don't recall what team that was when I clicked on it earlier. Incredible. Worms. Very competitive match, though, honestly. Like the Worms had there. That was a very, very close game versus 55. And I don't think they're going to be super bothered by that. It does happen. Crazy map, too. Like, definitely a very complex map. They're just going to have to figure out how to deal with how to deal with Caspi, really. Like, Caspi on that Mirage is just so dangerous. Like, he is so, so dangerous. And to be fair, actually, Crocodile Emoji, one of the most powerful Ranger players, I think. You've got 2 of the basically strongest Ranger players playing the Untamed with Boyce, of course, and Crocodile Emoji Oki also on that team as well. There's just so much damage. So easy to make just a very small slip-up. And essentially just immediately lose a team fight, immediately lose a 2v2, immediately lose a 1v1 because of how devastating those players are. Who is Crocodile? Crocodile Emoji is Oki. Here we go. Crocodile Emoji. Mace Amalgam. Ooh. Yeah, we actually do see a slightly different approach from Worm Kill.
An enemy ship is pulling into the harbor.
Now let's see if Scythe is going for it. It is. Ooh, we do have. Oh. Ooh. Now, of course, this isn't the finals. It's not semis, but they could be warming up here. We're not going with the short bow. It is, in fact, going to be the Energizing Slam, the Mace Shield Amalgams. Now, to be fair, they could have been playing this in the last game as well. Actually, I don't remember, guys. Like, my brain is completely fried right now. Like, I don't even know what's going on at this point. But what I do know is that we do actually see the double Mace Shield Amalgam here for a bit more defensive potential on these engineers. Going with the, the Pirate Queen relic there for the quickness uptime whenever you get the CCs, because of course you have a whole bunch of CCs on this build. to kind of like replace equal and opposite reaction, going for chain reactivity instead for that extra barrier, and of course that might application as well. At the same time, we also have Upside Down Falling Angel on the Toadvoker here, facing off against this Amalgam. Actually having a little bit of a tough time, though. That Flamethrower really bringing the pain onto that Elementalist. 5 Bunker and Fuzz. Well, look, we know what the worms do, guys. We know what the worms do. The worms are known for playing crazy bunker approaches. And yeah, this is a tough one, guys, to be honest, for Red here. This is a tough one. Like, I think the issue is how do they actually kill these Amalgams? Right? Like, I think that's the issue here. It's hard to do. Like, their damage output is, you know, kind of going to be coming through from the Luminary, right? And, of course, the Virtuoso. I think it's tough. It's tough to actually find those kills, though. Especially with that shield in play. Pretty nifty at kind of shutting down a lot of the aggression. Goku rotating in. Double Amalgam is outrageous. Well, I'll tell you what, Double Amalgam lost the last game into 0 Amalgams. So, I mean, look, you've got to be careful, right? Like, it's hard to say, like, what the meta really is and what's really going on. Who is Blue Luminary? It's Tengu. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is Sakiki, but I actually don't know. They're Azura. It's an Azura, and they also play Rev and Luminary. So I think that's who it is, but I'm not sure. Someone in chat can probably tell me who it is. But the thing is, everyone has 50 accounts these days, guys. It is what it is. There's a big market for new accounts these days. Regardless, Worm's doing very well in this game. Not terribly surprising, to be honest. Like, Red Team is very good, but I think their comp is just... is not that good.
Red team got a capture point.
And it's causing some issues. There are problems here. Anyway, team fight continuing here. Bella's now up. And the Worms are going to be looking to kind of lock this one down. I'll be interested to see if we actually play the Luminary in the finals here, or versus, again, Team Snowfall, or, of course, rank 55 Dragons. Because I'm actually not a big fan of this. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I just don't think Luminary is like an S-tier spec, you know? It's like, you know, it's good, but I'm just not sure if it's like Giga Omega tier. But of course, White Sparrows is definitely very, very good on this build, so we have no idea what might end up happening here. Like, it definitely could pop off. There's no question about that. And here we go. Here's the Luminary. Let's see if we can get some value here. This is where the Luminary can really do its work, in my opinion, is kind of directly in these team fights, where all of that buffing potential, that damage reduction, the healing, the cleanses can be super useful. That massive AoE to punch through the defenses in this team fight. However, Red Team, I think quite wisely, just going to defuse that. They don't really want a team fight, to be honest. They want to play a much more scrappy game, I think, where they're focused around these, focused around all 3 of the nodes and really making sure they're trying to pick people off there with the Virtuoso. But the problem is, I just don't think they have enough damage, really, right? And the Luminary is maybe a little bit too slow. I think it's hard for this Luminary to rotate quick enough to actually generate a kill. You know, the Virtuoso also is not the fastest build in the universe, right? You have Blink, but you don't really have a lot of speed. So it's kind of easy for Blue Team to just counter-rotate the Virtuoso, I think, and really deny any value that Maya's able to get. You can say, like, you know, what is Maya doing here? Like, you know, Maya doesn't really have anywhere to go. Like, where right now should the Virtuoso go? It's a good question. And to be honest, I'm not sure there's a particularly good answer to that question whatsoever. And yeah, Bell secured for Blue, and Worms is doing what they do. Nice clean game here from the Worms.
Be ready to give the signal and return fire.
Worm kill. Ooh, nice CC into that kill on that Luminary. Warrior going for a res. Ooh, just barely gets it. Nerves of Steel there from Echoes of Silence there. That was like 3%, I think, on that cleave. The Worms couldn't quite get it done, but... And the writing's on the wall on this one, guys. I'm gonna be honest, like, these fights are just not really working out. No renewed focus, actually, on the Luminary. There's a bit of potential, but Goku is doing what he does. Does he have a banner himself? He does. Has the quickness too. Yeah, nice res. Crisp res. Saw that one coming a mile off and gets it done. Might be able to resustain as well. Yeah, gets the good resustain there onto the Luminary. That is looking super, super nice. Super nice. We'd love to see that. We really, really do. And White Sparrows is kind of disengaging away from this. Now looking for a kill onto Antares again. Second Bell getting captured. I kind of want to check on the other games. I think they will be relatively straightforward. Yeah, as you can see here, Snowfall, obviously, yeah, going really, really strong there, 100%. I think 55 have already won their game, actually, fairly decisively, as you might imagine, versus WMD Violate. And we can maybe check this game. This game may have some potential, but again, yeah, that's kind of as expected. Blue team extremely favored versus the red team. Red team, honestly, I think has been connecting pretty well. I think we saw some really cool plays out of red team there. I think in particular, Uber Edge Master was absolutely blasting like an absolute lunatic, like crazy. With the super crazy, wow, lots of damage on this team, actually. The Hollowsmith, the Avocado on the Virtuoso, and the Necromancer as well. All on the same team with the Mirage. We'd love to see that. It's more of a bunker hollow, I guess, actually, more of a defensive build rather than a damaging build. But still, yeah, that's going to be the end of the game there. That's going to be a semi-final team coming through there in just a moment. But yeah, like these other two games, a little bit of a formality at this stage. We're just going to be waiting for them to actually end up ending. Pretty much. Okay. And red team just getting some work done here as well. Team Snowfall, not playing super seriously, you can see. Busting out the DH's Cranel, but I mean, yeah, like this is obviously basically a pug team on blue, and that's always going to be very, very rough into a more organized roster like the red team in. And Team Snowfall just getting to those semifinals, and we'll see what the matchups are going to be there. I think semifinals are both going to be pretty solid. In my opinion, I'll tell you what we don't want to see is 55 versus Worms again, right? Because I would, oh man, I don't know, actually. I think the top three are really, really close. I think there are currently 3 teams who I would consider could 100% win. And those 3 teams are 55, Team Snowfall, of course, and also Worms. I think those teams are actually very close together, and depending on maps, depending on how things go, right, it really could be, you know, pretty up in the air, I would say. Very, very close between those rosters. And, well, the thing is, we're going to have to say goodbye to one of them in the semis. It's not immediately obvious which one is potentially on the chopping block as of right now, but it is going to be coming up very, very soon. And you see a little bit of life here from the red team. Actually, I guess they got a couple of kills. Yeah, they actually picked up a bell, and they got themselves a kill there as well. So they have been able to scrabble a couple of points there as well. Because bear in mind, like with this setup, without that double rev, I think the blue team does have a little bit less kill potential. That's why they ended up basically having one node for red kind of ticking for a while. They don't have that explosive damage and high mobility in the same way they did with the double rev. The Luminary doesn't quite deliver that, I think, to the same extent. So they're a little bit slower there, so the game, it's ambitious blink there. I fucking respect it. Okay, does want to contest the bell, though. Does make a lot of sense to do that, because this would be a massive bell to pick up for the blue team. It would essentially win them the game if they can make that happen. I think they are going to look to do that in just a moment. Glint potentially looking for a kill there onto Antares here on this conduit. At Hammer, like, I mean, look, these Hammer buffs, man, I'm telling you, like, Hammer is such a dangerous weapon on Revenant these days. It used to be a bit of a meme for the longest time, but it is back, let me tell you, in PvE too, actually. Like, I think it's Hammer Renegade is absolutely slamming the meters currently. In this case, it is going to be the conduit in PvP, though, doing some serious damage to that Guardian all at the same time. All right. And this is going to be the end of that. Scythe, looking to pump, looking to blast. Antares looking to blast here as well, but Mana being the blasted one, as Renewed Focus is disabled at this stage. Does not exist, at least for the time being. Worm kill, slowly getting to work here versus Lamborghini. Bit of a slow 1v1, to be honest. Not really a lot going on here. And that is the nature of these mace shields. However, we do see a victory here from Scythe, getting the kill there onto Pimbadoo. Securing that node, and that's a node that the Worms haven't had for a while, right? You can see, look, they have not gained a single point for a long time, so that 1v1 is actually going to get them back on schedule, and oh my goodness, we actually have a brutal team fight victory for the Worms during that as well, with Maya, Lord Nils, and the Birds Part 1 all falling. We do actually have a rather amusing Vengeance hand res here that Goku is not going to be able to stop, I think, actually, because the Guardian symbol is going to come through. Not sure it's really going to affect the outcome of this game at this stage. And let's see, is the other semi going? The other semi, ooh, that is a crazy game, guys. We actually have Snowfall So Goated, I Wanna Abuse versus Rank 55 in the semis. Only one of those teams is going to be moving forwards. I'll tell you what, I bet the Worms are probably pretty happy about that. Now, to be fair, they should expect that, seeing as I believe... Wait, actually, are they the highest seeded team? No, they did lose, actually. So I'd say 55 are the highest seeded team. So it's kind of interesting that they've ended up versus Snowfall, actually, in the semis. But regardless of that, they are absolutely going to have a very, very tough match there for both of those rosters to actually make it to the finals. And yeah, I think side the Worms are going to actually get a slightly easier match going into the semi-finals, but still not an easy match. Not an easy match whatsoever, but I'm pretty sure the Worms are going to be happy to not have to play Snowfall or 55 to actually make it to the grand finals, I'll tell you that. Ooh, it is the Sky Hammer as well. It is the Worm Hammer that is being played here. All right, and let's see what the comp is going to be. I don't think we're going to be seeing a DH from Cranwell. I think it will likely be the Luminary, and then I think, broadly speaking, this is what we're going to end up having. Now, whether Shaman decides to go with the Hollowsmith, which we have seen in play, of course, or go for the Amalgam, is another thing that we'll probably only see until, you know, right up at the last seconds as this game starts to begin. Now, I think, if anything, Skyhammer is probably a map that 55 don't want to play finals on. So they're probably not super happy to play on this map in general, but they'd probably rather have it now than on the finals, that's for sure. I think their comp is maybe a little bit better on this map than it was last monthly, because this is basically where they lost. They lost in the finals on Skyhammer, and I think it was because it was difficult for their comp to work there, right? They had like a Thief and a Mirage, which was, you know, a little bit difficult to utilize on this map. Quite as effectively as you can on, say, like a larger map, for example, that has a bit more room to maneuver around on it. But I think their comp makes a bit more sense here. We actually have Draw. Not going to be going on the Troubadour. It's going to be just simply matching the Amalgam, essentially, is what's going to be going on here. Busting out the Flamethrower with the short bow there as well. Yeah, I mean, the Troubadour, I have to say, it didn't look incredibly convincing to me. It certainly didn't look bad, but I'm not sure if it was really putting in the work. Perhaps it needs further experimentation. Perhaps it needs a specific composition. We just don't know. Either way, we actually have Alex making that cross, and we'll begin this 1v1. And, you know, I wouldn't even say, I don't think we really know who's going to win that 1v1, actually. I would have to say that, because I think Alex is very, very good on the Toad, but of course, Drar is very, very good on that Elementalist as well. Now, this is basically going to be the story of the game. We might as well just watch Caspy's POV, guys, because I'm going to be honest with you. This entire game basically rests on, can Red Team deal with Caspy? Right, like, that's what this is. Right, like, if Red Team are able to make this Mirage not very useful and shut it down effectively, then I think they're going to find themselves in a good position. We actually do see the DH, by the way, coming out from Cranwell. I didn't even actually observe that. I was, like, so sure it was going to be the Luminary. But no, it's going to be the Dragon Hunter instead there. Potentially looking to try to get some big pulls and yoink in and deny the stealth coming out of the Ranger, deny the stealth coming out of the Mirage to try and secure those kills. Obviously a very strong defensive option there with the Shield of Courage, even with the Dragon's Maw, by the way. No renewed focus. That is something you do not see very often on DH. I will tell you that, guys. Like, that is quite a big one. But of course, it does certainly have its perks. If you are able to secure your opponents within that Dragon's Maw, going to be very difficult to get out there unless you have some kind of stability or some kind of mobility ability. It's certainly not easy. Oh, and draw. And look, I'm telling you, man. Look, people underestimate the Toad. I'm sorry, guys, they do. And look at that. Alex actually finds the 1v1 over draw. And you can't say it's like a skill diff, guys. Well, I mean, sorry, class diff. Because obviously, like, both of those players, I'd say top of their field on those respective classes. Like, Draw, very, very good on his 1v1 classes, including the Engineer, of course. And Alex, very, very good on the Elementalist. So, yeah, very, very, very well done there by Alex, actually. That's a big win to pick up here in this game. We actually do have Shaman going down there, too. But a bit of a point lead for 55. So, we're going to need a little bit more out of Snowfall. I think... Again, like, the really big thing is we do need to see some kills from Snowfall. Like, Snowfall need to win these fights. And this is where the DH could be problematic. Like, I'm not sure if it quite has the same level of explosivity and chase potential that perhaps the Luminary does. Of course, you do have the Longbow. You do still have Judge's Intervention. But, of course, the Luminary does have a lot that it can do. It has that entire extra skill bar that it can really utilize to blast in those team fights. Wait, do we actually... Wait, is this... Sunless Relic, yeah, because this actually hits really hard, right? If you plop down, like, the goop you spawn with Relic of the Sunless, it actually does a lot of damage, by the way. But that DH is getting focused pretty hard. He doesn't have renewed focus, but I'll tell you what, Caspi is super low. Can they get a kill onto Caspi here? CC's coming down. Support is very, very good from the Master of Disaster. Ooh, and Caspi is in trouble here. Is he gonna fall? Yes, he is. Is there a res? Oh, look at that precast there from the Master of Disaster. There we go. Oh, but he goes down again. Some really nice focus from Snowfall. Very crisp gameplay. Ooh, DH pull. Could be spooky for Misha as well. Doesn't want to get locked down here too much. Skyhammer is now up. The T-Salesman gonna go for it. Should be relatively uncontested. Doesn't look like there's any real gaming gonna go on there. Like, I am a little bit concerned, though, about this Holosmith on Red Team. I feel like he is not getting sufficient support, guys. I do not believe he is. And because, you know, look, you know, you can be the sickest player ever, but if you're getting 1v2'd, you need some help, right? Like, you need some help there. It's, like, very, very hard to survive against such strong players, against, you know, something like a Crocodile Emoji, who's also going to go down. Cranel actually just finds the kill into the Crocodile Emoji. I think that was a devastating trap there coming through there with Dragon's Maw, and that ticking damage from the Rune of the Sunless, Relic of the Sunless rather, just being a little bit too much there for the Crocodile Emoji. And that means only the Mirage is left on the board for damage output. If we can see the fake Shower Goat somehow surviving, and then they can get a kill onto Caspi, this will be a very dangerous situation if for 55. However, we do now have the Crocodile Emoji coming back into the mix. We'll be immediately plussing into Alex, and Alex is going to have to be so careful here. Is he going to get blasted? Always, his cooldowns are very, very low there. Has the Armor of Earth. Can he somehow hold on? He needs to get that Toad's Fortitude here. He gets the Toad's Fortitude. He gets the Elite, but it is not enough to hold on. Wait, could we be seeing? We actually have the precast. Here comes the precast. Is it going to land? Yes, it is. But that actually might be expensive as it costs Navia Model his life. But Alex is back, and that does mean that he can once again reapply pressure to this node. It's not the greatest, maybe not the most worthwhile trade, because it is on blue team's node here. If it was like holding it neutral or holding it red, that would definitely be very valuable. But unfortunately, that is not going to be the case. And yeah, no res. This is not a res. This is Vengeance, guys. So this warrior did not get miraculously revived by the Ranger, because of course, it is not going to be the Gale shot being played this time. It's going to be the Untamed instead. Is he going to be kind of matching up against Boyce? And that does mean there is a fair bit less damage, right? That's, I think, why we've seen a slightly less explosive game, in a way, coming out here from the red team. Ooh, half a second away from the heal, but Boyce finds that kill and gets that stomp. Simple as that. T-Salesman looking for the kill. But I think it's not going to be enough. Draw kind of on the warpath. I'll tell you what, that's a nice longbow 5. And actually, somehow, yeah, I think the longbow 5 was actually blocking Draw from going up there. Wasn't able to actually help out finishing that kill. Or Cranel's really playing with fire here, let me tell you that. Finds that kill. Misha is now into the mix. Cranel's starting to rotate away. We need more. Snowfall need to find more kills. Okay, and now we see the DH looking for the next Next potential target. We have that F1 up in a couple of seconds. Elite also available shortly too. Ooh, a big burst comes through. Can we see a potential? Whoa! Whoa! That's a big crit. The cleave is massive, and that is it. Misha can't save the day there. Not even the Master of Disaster can handle that disaster. As we see a brutal 8k crit from the longbow. That's enough damage, I'll tell you that. But they need more. A nice trap does lock down Crocodile Emoji. But the support is very, very good from Misha. And is it enough of a win? It's not enough. There's not enough follow through. We need more damage output here from the red team. It just feels like they're not quite able to capitalize on these small wins they're getting. Oh, hold on. Having said that, Outsane in play is going to go down side there. Ooh, a nice instant stomp there as well. Yeah, Misha is going for the banner. He would have got that too. Nice play there by Shuriken, recognizing that the banner was available. There's the hammer, but man, it's Skyhammer. 100-point diff halfway into the game is... It's a bit painful, to be honest. It's not where you want to be. Like we're still in a very problematic position, if you ask me, guys, for the red team here. I think we'd really want to see a big 1v1 victory coming out from this Holosmith pretty quickly. We've got to get rid of the crocodile emoji. To be fair, I think it's honestly a good thing for red that the crocodile emoji is basically locked into this holo. I think they much prefer this than having the crocodile emoji out on the map. But we've got to get some nodes quickly, guys. Time is running out. It may not look like way. Trust me, that timer, it does tick down. And oh, the T-Salesman is going to get eliminated. Nice banner from Misha securing that kill as well. And Caspi is going to survive, I think. The support from Misha and Boyce is going to be easily enough. The Novaya model is in a lot of trouble here as well. Balance stance is available, so I think this warrior should be okay, at least for the time being. But he needs to be very, very careful. Super greedy playing for this node here, I think. Are we going to see a punish there? I feel like we almost will.
Charging the laser.
Nice hold there, but yeah, I think that's going to be it. Is that going to be a falling damage death? Nice kiting by Shuriken. Oh, actually, somehow barely gets away with it. Can he get his heal off? Yes, he can, I think, and should be able to hold on. So I guess the greed, in some way, kind of paid off at least a tiny bit. They get that hold. They have point A. It is being contested there by the Holosmith as well. They need a little bit more. Like, I think they'd really love to get a double cap. They really don't want to give this node away. They want to contest into Outsane in play, but it's going to be so difficult for Alex when he's 1v2. Yeah, nice move there. Crocodile emoji gets that node forced there for the engineer and then immediately rotates away. And look at this plus. This is going to be a brutal plus. There's no answer for it from the red team as well. They've got to respond to the crocodile emoji, but I don't think it's going to happen. And no, it's not. Look at that instant kill. I think 55 just a little bit sharper on these rotations, guys. A little bit faster, a little bit more on the map. And to be fair, like, I do really like that they have this double roamer approach. It really fits into that 55 style. That's what they do best. Misha does die here, but this is not a game about getting kills, man. This is not a game about getting kills. It is a little bit, but it's mostly about standing on points and capturing them. And that is what 55 is doing, and that's unfortunately not what Snowfall is able to do right now. Focus and rotate, and that's exactly what 55 have done. Let's quickly take a look at the other game here that's going on. It has, I believe, just kind of underway, or just kind of begun, as it were. I don't want to really leap into it. I don't want to look at the score. One of the scores is not displaying, but it is what it is.
Skyhammer calibrated to blue.
Ooh, Outside in play gets the kill onto Alex as well. Yeah, that Skyhammer being really problematic, like forcing a lot of resources there out of the Elementalist. We have a banner, we do, but this is catastrophic now. Like, I think the game is. It's a bit weird to call it at this point, guys, but I think the game is essentially unwinnable for red. I just can't imagine a universe where red team's able to come back. There's just not enough time. Like, there's only 4 minutes left in this game, and the blue team has double the points of red, and red team's comp just doesn't have the ability to get a wipe. Like, there's just no way that red team's comp is gonna wipe blue, and that's what needs to happen. If red want to win, they need to wipe them. And not die for the rest of the game. I think if even a single player dies from red, the game ends. Ooh, nice, very nice cutting by Crown, actually. That's very crisp. But if any of them die, it's game over. And they need to clean house now. Right, okay, they get Caspi. But now they need more than that. They've got to get Boyce, they've got to get Dra, they've got to get Crocodile Emoji. Crocodile Emoji could be a potential target here, but yeah, nice kiting here. Might deny that. Ooh, not sure if we want to go back in there, but Misha is here for the support, so maybe it's okay. But one kill doesn't cut it. We need more. And the thing is, Caspi's already back. And this can feel really frustrating, right? But getting a kill is like, oh, wow, we got a kill, guys. But look, what did you get? Where's the cap? Where's the second kill? Where's the snowball?
Just like that.
Maybe we're going to find the Crocodile Emoji, but no, the heal skill's off, the stealth is up, the super speed is on, and it's a double cap once again for 55. Like, this is, again, borderline unwinnable. Really nice kill here from Alex, utilizing that deadly elite, the Elemental Procession. So that is nice. They do get the decap, rather, but again, the point deficit is only really slightly growing at this stage, and we need to see, it needs to be a triple cap, actually. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, if red team wants to win, they must triple cap 55 within the next 30 seconds. Otherwise, the game is over. And I actually mean that, by the way. They need to hold a triple cap for 2 minutes, and that will give them enough points. Yeah, double cap isn't enough. Their only win condition is getting a triple cap. And the thing is, if you're the team that's winning, you love to hear that. Because that means you don't even have to play well. Like, all that 55 have to do is be annoying now and like stand on the points and slow down the caps and be irritating, right? And decap and run around the map and just get like little out numbers there that force the opponents off the node. But yeah, the game is unwinnable in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Game's over. 55 are in the finals. It is literally impossible for the red team to win now. They might as well AFK. And the reason for that is the most points you can get is 90 a minute, and as you can see, they're 180 points behind. There is no way they can win. It is over. GG. Oh, actually a very, very competitive match here. Once again, Zintrex busted. Wait, Bunker, Garkos! Garkos was right. The Bunker DH being busted out here by Zintrex. We love to see that in honor of Godkos, in honor of the king. Actually, a pretty competitive match. It is on Hammer again, though, so it's a bit weird. 150 points on this map. This is the slowest map. You've got the Sky Hammer. You've got this kiting potential. So, but certainly very, very commendable approach here from the blue team, actually doing super, super well. Even actually taking the lead in this mid game there. But yeah, these hammers, these kills coming through. We're just not really seeing enough kills from the blue team, right? To actually sustain this advantage, sustain this thing. So things definitely went wrong for the Worms early on. And well, look, it can certainly happen. You can get memed by DH super easily, this kind of like crazy Bunker DH, like Harold obviously pumping. But with the Lord of Darkness going down here and the Spear Abuser falling, I think that is ultimately going to signal the end of the game. As we do have Worm kill. Wait, NA Finals is 500-0? What? What on earth is going on here, guys? Let me tune in. Oh, no. What on earth is going on here, guys? Is this Zeolith team? Zeolith team is going 500-0 versus Team USA. God damn. I'm going to be honest with you guys, that is unbelievably impressive because, let me tell you, Team USA are the world champions right now. Certainly, like, you know, some of the best players of all time within Guild Wars 2. And it looks like they are actually having some serious difficulty versus Team Zeolith. Pretty similar comp, by the way. It's double Ritualist, I believe, for Team USA, and double Conduit with, of course, the Support Warrior, versus a double Conduit, double Amalgam Support Warrior composition approach coming through from... It's kind of like it's basically like Dark USA, right? It's like halfway between Team USA and... Dark USA and... some of the EU French, basically, is what's going on. But wow, goodness me, very impressive performance. Because bear in mind, that team did actually win the last monthly as well, guys. Like, this is actually going to be Team USA's second defeat, which I'll tell you what, is very unusual. Team USA is known for being extremely dominant on the region, to the point where if they ever lose, it's actually a pretty big event, to be completely honest with you. But yeah, that is going to be that. And here we have our own finals about to get started on EU. And it is going to be the Master... what a classic matchup, guys. A classic matchup. We have Toil and Trouble, the master of disaster. Not going to be Capricorn and not going to be Hammer. Tell you what, 55 probably like that. Going up against the Dementists, Scythe, French Worms, coached by Esprit himself, the Permaband Worm. Colosseum or Fofire? Yeah, Colosseum or Fofire are pretty likely. I think it could be Temple, right? Because Temple wasn't in... I think the map thing resets, right? When you get to Elims. So it could be Temple as well. Could be Forest. And here we go. The grand finals here on EU. And it is going to be a victory on NA once again for... I don't know what their team name is exactly, but it is essentially Zealith combined with Dark USA. Dark Zealith, maybe? Zealith USA? I don't know. French USA? But anyway, grand finals about to come up here on EU. Big victory, and of course, congratulations to Team Zealith on NA for securing their victory. They're about to win in 10 points. The game is well and truly over at this stage over there. It's 490 to 117, and yeah, that's it. Wow. Oh, they're called the Freaky Melons. Okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Team Freaky Melons securing another victory on NA server.
Get in there! Attack! Observatory secure.
You all performed well, but our toughest battle lies ahead.
Let's see if the finals have started.
And so will I.
Ooh, not yet.
Maureen,
So,
this
let's get a prediction, guys.
my life. Thank you for helping.
Okay, who wins?
She knows my name.
French Worms, rank 55. What's it going to be, guys? French Worms versus rank 55 Dragons. I'll give you guys 5 minutes to make your predictions. Go now.
Exposed out here.
Ooh. Colosseum. Fun map. Okay. And, well, we're going to see what the comp is going to be. Now, I'll tell you what. If you're 55... you're a happy chappy. I'm just saying. Because Caspi is going to be going crazy on this map. He's going to be loving life here. Very good opportunities to rotate. Very good opportunities to find these kills. Never bet against 3 times Murder Chat. I mean, that's very, very true. It's very, very true indeed. Let's see if we have any composition adjustments. Could see a little bit of content being mixed up. Perhaps the French have a couple of things prepared in the finals. And I think, what is Dra going to play? It's like Dra's maybe thinking about playing the Amalgam. Here, once again. Could, of course, have gone for the Troubadour as well, but looks like the Amalgam is going to be the pick. Oh, perhaps not, though, actually. Let's see what he's going to go for. Of course, Worms are going with this double Amalgam approach. Oh, but hold on. Ooh, hold on. What? Okay.
The match starts soon.
Wait, surely not. There's no way. This can't be. What am I looking at here, guys? No! It's not possible. The Worms have prepared.
Seize theirs.
We actually see TAC. The TAC build is back. Scythe Guard, Bunker DH. Kill, Bunker DH. I have no idea what this is out of... What is this technology? He just applied Venoms and then relogged? What on earth am I looking at right now? And then he logs on to Conduit. This is actually the most French content I have ever seen. He goes for a Venom precast directly into the relog. This is Guild Wars 2 PvP. And then finds a kill directly onto Crocodile Emoji. What on earth am I watching right now? This is tech. Amalgam. Wait, sorry, no. This is the only good use for an antiquary, apparently. But let's get serious. Is this actually going to work? That's the question. Now, Kill can obviously probably end up stalling this versus Boyce for, you know, essentially like the rest of time. But is this comp going to actually do anything? Now, we do have the damage with these double heralds, of course. But is that going to be enough? Because bear in mind, they're going to struggle to push all 3 nodes here because they just don't have enough damage to really do that. So they're going to be banking on going for a massive 2-node lockdown, maybe a decap here and there if they manage to get like a decent couple of kills. Glint going to be actually going for that 3rd node now because it's not really a lot that they can do here. It's hard to, I don't know. I'm not sure about this, guys. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is content, but like, where's the damage? How are they going to get kills? I don't know what's going on here, guys. I'm not sure what 55 are exactly making of this either, but so far Worms have not managed to get any points in this game. It's 0 to 60, and well, the thing is, you really don't want to fall behind if you're playing this kind of bunker-style approach. Now, we do actually have a little bit of damage going on to Boyce here, but Misha will be able to res that and, of course, support this pretty well. Now, Worms do get themselves that cap, which is nice. Now, the question is, are we actually seeing Scythe slowly get the cap over here? The thing is, I'm not really sure if he is. Because his goal would obviously be that he wants to essentially slowly get the cap here, right? By spamming the Sanctuary, right? Like the knockbacks and all that kind of stuff. But so the Amalgam is cut. Oh, hold on a minute. Glint immediately picks up that kill. I have to take that back. The Guardian combined with that dead... Oh, yeah, we need to get this kill here. Otherwise, that banner's going to land. Ooh, yeah, good stomp there. That is going to be a double cap for Worms. I'm honestly not... I'm not sure if... I'm still not feeling this good about it, guys. I'm not feeling great about it, guys, because Boyce was able to get this contest, so the Worms don't have this node. It's going to be very difficult to control the buffs as well. Now, I'll tell you what, if this, if Crocodile Emoji goes down here, that's scary. Ooh, that is scary. Oh, wait, can Misha maybe get like a res on the roof? Is he gonna, I think he can. Yeah, he's trying to aim for it. Oh, it might just barely be out of range, I think. Yeah, that was, yeah, see, look, we're of the same mind, guys. He tried to aim up, I think, but couldn't quite get the angle. Oh,
Did you see that?
that was not supposed to happen. I'm going to be honest with you. That should not have happened. Very sneaky channel of the buff there. Now being secured by Worms. If they can find another kill, that's a little bit scary. And that is going to be Boyce getting taken out there by Glenn. Bear in mind, they've got the damage buff. Misha going to maybe go for a res. He's going to go for the banner. He does get it. Very, very nice there by the Master of Disaster. And Glint now in trouble. Of course, the Sanctuary will keep him safe. Worms now having that double cap. Ooh! Glint! So much damage output. Very nice little res there, though. Coming through by the... Wait, how did they get that res, actually? Was that like Crocodile Emoji? Wait, oh, no, wait. I don't even know what happened there. But they managed to revive him. Either way, I guess it was a good F-press. Well done to them, but that Mirage goes down again. And even though, like, I was worried about the damage output, guys, like, without having that Amalgam to kind of bounce off of, you know, without the Elementalist or the Ritualist or something. But it looks like the Worms are just able to get enough DPS by combining those two Revenants together. It is enough to generate kills. Or at least it seems that way. Now Glint is getting focused very heavily. He's going to go down. Oh, the sword buff. Yeah, the sword buff and the banner stop there from Goku is going to be good enough, though. And this is just not a good situation for 55, guys. It's really not. Crocodile Emoji running for his life right now. Some very good support there by Misha. Oh, hold on. Dra actually gets it done. Makes it happen. Could Goku somehow get this recovery here? He's going to be able to contest. I don't think this is I don't think, can they res that? I don't think so, to be honest. They might be able to stall it, though, and that might be good enough. Oh, yeah, no. Yeah, draw 1v9. Outsane in play, does manage to get the kill on that bunker, and that's why Glint died too. Bear that in mind, guys. If they hadn't been felt forced to go for that res, all of a sudden, we actually see that survival. Dra just actually activated there. He unleashes full power, the 3-time Motor Champ, and it converts into a kill on both Revenants. 55 strike back. Okay. And Amalgam does claim a victory. Sword buff also secured, and that's going to be nice 55. That's going to help them break through these Guardians. And it's going to be a double cap for 55 currently as well. Blue team starting to get a little bit ahead. And Worms, again, this is the problem that they have. Like, if they can get a lockdown, it does work. But the thing is, it does take them a while to get to that state. Well, if they get to that state. Let's see if they can do it again. They succeeded the first time because they had those Revenants really connecting. Let's see if they can make it happen again. But again, Lion is still just ticking away for the blue team. But hold on. Glint is getting focused. Nice heal from the DH is coming through. Can Glint find a kill? Can they kill this Mirage? Or potentially the crocodile emoji? Let's see. So much DPS coming through from both teams here. These Revenants really just looking for their opportunity, trying to connect the Gale shot from the crocodile emoji, firing in devastating bolts there from the sidelines. Glint looking for that moment. Both warriors supporting so very well here. Mirage getting low, though, is the focus. Oh, that Amalgam CC is absolutely disgusting from Dra. Dra is hungry for that victory. Kill in trouble here, actually, on this node versus this Amalgam, but somehow the Worms managed to kind of survive here. But that Herald is looking so pressured. Gets the Glint heal off and actually gets fully healed there by the Mirage. Such an unbelievably close fight right now. Mirage so very low. Crocodile emoji going for the Guardian kill there as well, actually, alongside Boyce. However, the Herald does reinforce, but a 100-point lead now in favor of 55. Worms need to make something happen, and they need to make it happen very quickly. This Guardian's cooldowns are really not great whatsoever. Herald trying to peel it out. Red team do get that cap. Ooh, nice decap there from Goku. That could be a big deal if they can win this fight. They've got to win this fight on middle, though. Worms have this. Can they find a kill? If they could kill Boyce, that would be unbelievably gigantic. Removing Boyce off the map, it takes away a lot of the pressure. They could even think about maybe being a little bit annoying on fire and then counter-rotating after that respawn comes through. This does leave, of course, Caspi is capping over here. He's not in the mix, but actually Kill dies. Oh, I hate to say it, guys. I think this might kind of be GG. I think 55 have done it. I am not entirely convinced there's enough time in this game for the Worms to recover now. They find the kill onto Crocodile emoji. That is really nice. But the thing is, look how slow it is. Ooh, Caspi picking up that buff as well is going to be super juicy in just a couple of seconds. Of course, if they all end up dying, then it's not great. But the problem is, look at this advantage. We see this decap coming through now, but Worms, they kind of have to play for the Lion now. Like, they're out of time, guys. Yeah, and we can see that Scythe recognizes this, has to go far. They don't have an opportunity. They don't have another option here. They must neutralize this position, or they will simply lose to the timer. The clock is not on their side here. If they can really slow this game down to a standstill, then they have some potential. And, well, let's see if Scythe can find this decap. This does, of course, remove the crocodile emoji from the fight. That's a very powerful damage dealer that is not going to be involved here, at least for the time being. Glint, ooh, getting bashed over the head by the hammer from the Bunny Thumper Ranger of Boyce. Can the Worms win this team fight? That's the big question. If they want to win this game, they have to win, and they've got to win big, and they need to win now. Otherwise, time is running out for the Worms. Can they do this? Can they find this kill? Once again, they're going to be looking for that Mirage. They're going to be looking potentially for the crocodile emoji. However, Mirage actually does rotate away, goes for this 1v1 to that. This is a very important 1v1 now, but actually, I'll tell you what, it's about to be a 1v3 as both Misha and Boyce show up. Although, having said that, this Mirage is pretty low, and now with Goku here, as long as they play conservatively, they should be able to at least survive until they get some reinforcements coming through. They're going to need assistance soon, though, guys. You cannot hold hold a 2v3 for long, especially not with a relatively squishy class like a Herald. The Herald fighting for their life. The Warrior Goku sending everything he has got in terms of support, but they're going to have to concede this node now. They do get the cap on far, which is big, but they're still in such an unstable map state. They've got to get a hold. They need to slow this game down. They've got to stall the momentum of 55, or I think the map will eventually turn blue once again. Okay. And let's see. Of course, again, it's just so hard for the Worms to contest all three, right? You can see, like, they can't really afford to leave one of the Guardians here. I do like the choice to actually, again, this is Oki recognizing the situation, right? Like, he knows they're in a really good spot. All they have to do is just not allow them to get a hold on the game. Like, he doesn't need to go for the full cup there. They basically have enough points to win this game. A single kill basically wins this game for 55, if they can find that. Or, of course, simply stalling it out for timer and keeping things neutral. Having said that, Dra potentially in a little bit of trouble here. Gets his heal skill off. The bombs are dropping, but he is going to fall. Misha goes for the banner. He finds it. Very nice. But, however, is that Revenant damage going to be enough to actually get another kill directly onto Outsane in play? Boyce also in a little bit of trouble over here. Crocodile Emoji now going for the full cap. That full cap is a major issue for the Worms. We need to see a contest here. Can this Revenant actually make it? No, he cannot. Does not make that. However, will be able to initiate the 1v1, which is potentially winnable here. 85 points in it. Ant Whisperer does get driven away. Kill finds the cap. Can't really do too much. Ooh, I don't think he's going to die, though. As long as he doesn't die, we're okay. Kill does get his Sanctuary down. Look at that. Absolutely disgusting. I feel like this 1v1 might be the most important thing going on right now. Like, if this Herald can get this win, or even, I guess even keeping it neutral, this is theoretically a winning state for Red. It's so tenuous, though. Like, where's the Mirage? Oh, no. Here comes Caspi. Here comes the Shark. The snake in the grass. However, Goku does see it coming, makes it into a 2v2. And we don't hate that for the Worms whatsoever. Buffs are up once again, but look at the damage here as well. Misha moving in, Crocodile Emoji also in the mix. But oh, it's a little bit spooky here, guys. It's a little bit scary. We do see Boyce going for that buff. That's going to be a really nice combat advantage if that is going to be able to be secured here as well. Lots of damage going through onto this Herald, and there is the kill secured. Goku going for the banner. Does get it. Ooh, Crocodile Emoji dropping dangerously low there as well. Worms looking for that kill. Incredible support there from the Master of Disaster, and Boyce is fully charged up with the sword buff, looking for these kills, and I think the Worms, surely they are going to have to concede this node. A 4v3, it's simply too much. However, the double cap is potentially there. If Drop is going to get snapped up here, and he is, bear in mind, there's no banner. It's going to be 1 node to 2 in favor of the Worms. If 55 can't intercept, they're actually now outnumbered here. It's going to be a big old fight. One Guardian kind of posturing to prevent any potential decap. Of course, the mobility of blue team is a very, very major threat here. And look, we've just got to follow Caspi. In Caspi we trust. Can he kill one of these Worms? Looking for the opportunity. I think looking for this Herald here. What's the play going to be? What's the move? Joining up with the Crocodile Emoji. Oh no, though! Perhaps their moment has actually passed. A beautiful revive there coming through there from the Master of Disaster, but the Ant Whisperer does in fact get eliminated. One Guardian in play, ready to actually defend. They were looking for that decup. They're not going to get it. They're perhaps a little bit behind in this team fight. Worms with a minute left on the clock. Can they make this happen? 55. Oh no, we actually do see a kill. And actually no, the Worms, they actually get the cap on middle. He was not able to contest in time. And now I think we're in survival mode for the Worms. If their point count goes above their opponents, they are going to find that win. Can they get that res? No, they absolutely cannot. That's 5 points in the pocket. That is very, very relevant here, by the way, in favor of 55. I'm not sure if the Worms have enough time to get this. No, they don't. Kill is going to fall there as well. They can't hold. They're trying to hold, but I think the 2 cap is not worth the kills. They're actually bleeding here. 20 seconds, that's 20 points. It actually ends at a tie unless kills happen, but no, the kills do happen now, and that is going to be Glint falling, and 55 are going to defeat the Bunkers. The Worms have not been able, even with the illegal antiquary technology, it's not enough. The Ant Whisperer wins. The Outsane in play of Dra, the Motor 3-time champ, secures the monthly.